Should be live.
Should probably pull that up, huh?
Only if you want to.
Have that on the side. All right. So, 42 days ago, being the last time we played, you guys had followed up on a couple of extra threads that were going in throughout the city, including meeting up with some of the individuals that Yotev used to work alongside. You've had a couple of conversations with these contacts, basically trying to find who in there may have had some information about the sort of goings-on within the city, including but not limited to whether or not they had any connection to Mr. Cole, in connection to the rival tinkerers of the sparkle spells or Sinden, or if they had any connection to potentially why certain, or understanding as to why certain individuals were basically selling off what they had and getting out of Dodge. As a result of all of this investigation, you were given the information that, well, if you want to find Mr. Cole, there is one way you could at least find his right and left hand individuals, being Divya and Bjordek. They are both going to most likely be at the Hour of Honor, which is happening tonight. With that, the party gathered together and begun to make their way towards the tavern to go and participate. Along with them is your daughter, Yotev, as she is coming not super enthusiastically along to watch this whatever is gonna go down. She herself, having sort of sworn off the bottle years ago, is still at least willing to tag along. As you guys begin to head that way, let me grab this real quick.
Oh my goodness. Your context. I just rolled my first dice.
I'm feeling unlucky today, so I'm ready for like 3 nat ones in a row.
Only when it has to do with your family or reading women.
Or looking for my son.
Or looking for your son.
It's
It's like Traverse Town in Cage 1 all over again.
Nothing important.
You make your way to the Blushing Tankard, which is the main, or the tavern that holds the Hour of Honor competition. As you make your way in, it is incredibly full, bustling with people. A number of dwarven and gnomish folks walking around as you sort of cut in. Yotev, it is almost immediate that you do recognize that the people that you were looking for are in fact there. As one of the first things that you can recognize is that while the majority of this place is under a certain height based off of the not super varied number of people that, or races of people that live within the city, you're able to pick out the taller folks very fast. Not only does your party stick out, but so do the figures of Divya, the Goliath right-hand woman of Mr. Cole, and Bjordak, the Minotaur sort of left hand,
they're very
as
big.
it were. Yeah, they're both big folks. They are currently in the far back in this sort of section where a part of the floor juts out into this more private corner. There's a large round circular table set in the middle of it with a number of chairs all around. Divya, Bjordak, and a couple of other faces that you vaguely recognize as thugs that they have alongside their sort of hired hands almost, have created this small little collection on that far side. There is also in this group a roll a perception check, actually. Let's get this out of the way, please.
Let's see what little I see. A 9.
God.
That's all for now. As you all make your way into the room, there's a couple of people that sort of move themselves out of your way. It smells very strongly of alcohol, as you would expect, but there's also this sort of nasty acidic smell that you can't quite place for a second because it's odd in this space until you recognize that it is absolutely someone has gotten sick, and it is being taken care of, but not very quickly. This place is a little bit more debaucherous than other areas you've been in the city. The drink comes in excess here. Making your way through the crowd, what is it you guys would like to do?
Yotef, if you're gonna try to drink against those two, you're in trouble. They can hold more alcohol in a leg each than you have in your entire body.
It's Yotev is himself not trying to win tonight, just trying to get recognized. And that's pretty much that, I think, right now. If he would have pointed out the folks as soon as he walked in anyway, just to be like, this is who they are.
Okay.
Genji, are you gonna partake in this event?
I mean, if you need somebody to, I can.
There's a team of 4 that we need, I believe.
Better get a bag of rice ready.
Can I look around to see if anybody's like intently looking at us? Like they haven't looked away.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
16.
You recognize that there have been a couple of people that have clocked you, and maybe their eyes have lingered, but they have looked away. A couple that sort of look away as you make eye contact with them, which kind of raises levels of suspicion. But it's not until you sort of fan over towards the group that Yotev has pointed out, where you don't see someone looking at you, but you do see someone staring right at Yotev. This old-looking dwarvish individual that's sitting with the other two. They are relatively stocky, shorter beard that kind of ends about a couple of inches off the face. Well sculpted and taken care of, clearly a source of some level of pride. Hair that has been slicked back and kept relatively short, but on their person they look to have like half plate armor, so definitely someone who's built out to be some sort of a thuggish or hired hand in the physical in their physical capacity. Large nose that looks like it's been broken a couple of times. You can see where there's like scarring across it. And he's just sort of eyeing down Yotev. With the 16, you also notice that he seems to be like doing something with his hand on the table. And while the two folks that Yotev pointed out aren't looking at Yotev, they are looking at his hand as he's doing whatever it is he's doing.
Does it look like any kind of magical thing, or like is there any kind of light or anything that I would notice as possibly a spell?
Kind of. It's a great question, huh?
You'll never know.
Probably thieves can't, if anything.
Yeah, make an insight check for me real quick.
19.
He doesn't seem to you like a very arcane person. He doesn't have a lot of he doesn't have anything on him that denotes some sort of spellcaster. Because at least from what you've gathered, you're not much of a spellcaster either, but everyone has most of the spellcasters you've seen have something on them, some sort of arcane focus, druidic focus, holy symbol, something. He seems to not have any of those. And instead, it looks like the hand movements are more practical, more like showing symbols. So it seems more like a subtle way of giving information as opposed to the casting of a spell.
Yotev, if you're trying to get noticed, I'll go ahead and nod over to the direction of them. They're communicating.
With him?
He's communicating with those two.
When Step points that out, or when Killian points that out, I would look over there as well. Do I recognize it?
You would. What he's doing is a form of thieves' cant. What he's effectively doing is showing these symbols of like. Make a perception check. Actually, let me see how much you pick up. You're gonna pick up something, but I want to give a.
Oh, I used my new dice on D&D Beyond. I got a natural 20 for a 27.
Fuck yeah. You watch. He's not being subtle with it. You see he's marking like denoting. Effectively, you catch a. What's the best way to word this? It's almost like a symbol that they use as like a code name almost. So it's not one that you can immediately be like, I know what that is, but they use it in a way that the same way that you would use like a name. So you can at least pick up that I don't know who they're talking about, but they're talking about a person. And they're saying person. You see a symbol that denotes like interest or potentially like something specializing about them, something special about that person that they're talking about, and then a series of numbers. Afterwards, you see a sign for to take, and then allied 6 1 family.
I'll kind of turn to the others and be like, I've seen something like that before. And I'll kind of explain the general understanding that I have from what they're talking about. I'm not sure who they're talking about, but you're right. They are definitely communicating about somebody here.
Have you said exactly like what they said to us? Like describe what that recollection was?
Yeah, I would like describe some of the keywords and like I think it would come across as like I'm not sure exactly what they were talking about, but here are some of the things I picked up on. Kind of like if you took a foreign language in high school and then heard somebody talking it like 10 years later, you're like, I know some of that, but
Mm.
I think we should make our way to get a table if we can find one. I'll scan the bar. Is there any place for us all to congregate?
There is. You get a nice little choice. You either can find a smaller table that's a little off to the side, but you're all gonna have to squeeze. Or there's a nice big one with two gnomes sat in it. That you could go over and basically like sit down and potentially nudge them out of to get your group a better spot in the middle.
I got that
I'm
one.
gonna go.
Yeah. Do we have to sign up for the honor of hour
You
or hour of
do.
honor? Okay.
The hour of honor, yes. It is sort of like an open challenge sort of a situation.
I'll go to the bigger table in the center
Mm-hmm.
and use all my powers of intimidation and just glare at the two gnomes and pull up a seat.
With but a glare, please roll an intimidation check.
I got a 16.
You sit down and one of them begins to go to say something as like going to explain like, oh, excuse me, it sees your glare. It just sort of starts to pull in on himself. The person that he's with seems to be significantly deeper in their drinks, and kind of looks up at you a little begrudgingly, or and attempts to go to say something to like tell you to go basically fuck off. But the one that you've glared down grabs him by the arm and goes, "Hey, let's go find a nice window seat, all right?" It starts to drag the other one away. You pull yourself in, and the others you're able to find spots around this table as well. Check.
Hey, Kayla,
Yes.
while we're in here, can I don't know what the process of casting a ritual spell is, like visually. Is it incredibly something that is super duper noticeable, or could I attempt to hide doing so?
You can always attempt to hide. I would say it depends on the spell. What spell is it?
Comprehend languages. It says it only needs a pinch of salt and salt, which I feel like is that part
Yeah.
at least is hideable. I feel relatively easily.
So I think with a verbal, somatic, and material component, the level of ritual would be a little bit more involved and it'd be harder to hide. You can still make a check about it if you'd like to.
Do you have subtle spell?
I do. Thanks, husband. I do that. You're the best. I love you so much. That's why I took it. I took that in twin spell. You're so good. I do that. I would like to cast that. Does it last an hour, right?
Yes. So cast without any somatic or verbal components.
Ooh,
But the
hey, I have an
materials
issue.
are tiny.
Yeah. So with that, please still make a check for me. DC has been way lowered because there's no like movement of the hands. There's no verbal component to it anymore.
I got.
Caleb,
Yes.
I still can't import my character, and my armor class is wrong, and armor is wrong.
I got a 17.
Okay. That's the wrong character. Or not.
My bad. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt the game.
Nice. Do sorcerers get ritual casting?
I have
She took
virtual
the feat.
casting wizard because of.
Ah, okay.
Right? Because I wanted the cat. Remember? So I have ritual caster and I have twinned and subtle spell. And it's part of. Comprehend languages is part of my ritual spell book.
Check that now. See if that fits.
Yes.
Perfect.
Already because my. Yeah. Mithril plate. Cool.
All right. With that, you guys have a seat in the middle. You're able to by using subtle spell, you basically just take the do you use soot and salt, or do you use your arcane focus?
My arcane focus is my deck, right?
Yeah.
I'll pull my deck out at the table and have it appear that I'm just like pulling a reading. Like I've just like, sat down and pulled a reading, I think.
So you pull out your deck, and instead of doing a in-depth ritual, you just start shuffling cards and moving them around, and in so doing, the cards themselves give off their own sort of element of arcane magic that allow you to, without having to draw attention to the fact that you're casting a spell, you're able to basically just make it look like you're shuffling and throwing out a couple of cards on the table. And as that ritual ends, the comprehend language is able to pop off.
Okay.
That, and then
I just want to actively listen to everybody around us.
sure.
Just hear it.
So many
that.
voices in your head.
I know.
It's very overwhelming.
Let's see. Yotev, are you going to go challenge? Or are you wanting to have a conversation first?
Before that, before Yotev signs registers us for the Hour of Honor, who's partaking again? Does Yotev, Cassandra, were you in? That's two.
Because I won last time.
And then who else is it? Kenji, you said you partaking, correct?
Yeah.
All right, that's three. All right, and looks up towards the tall people of the party.
Well, I have a question for Killian. Killian, you don't have to eat or drink, but can you consume, and does it affect you?
You're muted, babe.
We can find out.
We can find out.
I love fuck around and find out.
So we're at the find out portion. I'll keep an eye on everybody.
No, this is the fuck around.
So is that Killian or Vornex who is partaking?
Killian.
I will partake.
Cool, that is four.
I'll
Excellent.
keep an eye out.
Do we want to go register under our names or a pseudonym?
Just our names is fine.
Pseudo name.
We're supposed to be in hiding.
So who are the drinkers?
It's Yotev,
Cassandra,
Cassandra,
Yotev,
Kenji,
Kenji,
and Killian.
All right.
What was our decided name?
We are gonna need a bag of rice.
I wanna use the name I used in the last drinking competition, but out of character, I don't remember what I said it was.
You wrote your name on the board.
Mhm.
Yes, but I signed up under a different name. I was too drunk.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't either.
It was something Ashling at the end. No, look,
Did you
that's
just
mine.
use Ash?
I used Ash, yeah. Not my name, Ash.
Catch him,
Yes.
comma Ash.
Ketchum, comma Ash. That's funny.
Middle name all.
I forget the name I'd used at the place, but I know it was my father-in-law's name, so I'm gonna be using that one.
Okay.
To sign up.
Sure. You go up to the front desk or like the bar. There is a female dwarf who is in the process of like making a bunch of mixed drinks, sending them down on one end. You see she's got like a weird belt system built into the desk of the top of the bar, where she's able to put down a drink and it sends itself down to the right spot, so there's no like sliding mugs down the table
cool.
or anything like that. So she's in the process of doing that. As you sort of walk up, she goes, how can I help you?
Yes, my friends and I would like to sign up for the Hour of Honor.
Oh, sure. That's in about. Sort of looks up at a mechanical time-keeping tickered clock on the wall and goes, it's about 15 minutes. You guys gonna be good for then, or you have all your people here?
Yeah, everyone
Fantastic.
is already here.
Can I get your names?
Yes. And he'll recite Ash, Yota's father's-in-law's name. Did
Ash.
Kenji and Killian have a pseudonym that they wanted to go by, or no? Were they good?
I'll be Jeff Darrington.
Oh god.
Jeff Deddington and the last
steal my
one
name.
for
Precise beyond.
and and Kenji.
And Kenji. All right. Should be another 15 minutes. I'll be sure to call you up. Looks like you're the only challengers tonight, so it'll be a quick one. But best of luck to you all.
Interesting. Okay.
Ask her what the record is.
Yes, as I hear a distant little voice. Do you mind telling me what the record is, by the way?
Checks the third run of things for him. Goes about 10 weeks, I think.
I'm sorry. 10 weeks? Oh, for holding the title?
Yeah.
How about for a number of drinks?
Oh, fuck if I know.
Fair. Very fair.
How do you know who's winning?
So what are the rules of the game? Do you know?
Great question.
Because is it combined drinks? Is it individuals? Is it?
What
Last
happens
man standing.
is you guys give your lineup, and whoever drinks first is drink for drink against their first until one of you taps out or loses it.
So it's
Once-
head to head.
It's a head-to-head. It's basically like a crew battle. If you've ever done like a crew battle in Melee or something like that.
I'm saying
So-
it's head to head.
Yeah.
Well, one or the other falls out, and then the
Yes.
next group comes up. Okay.
Not even next group, next person. So if Ash is the first one up, and the other person loses, Ash stays in until she pukes, or taps out. So person number 2 comes in and faces Ash again.
So it's not like Family Feud. Where
No.
we do a new. Okay.
It's not Family Feud. It's if you've ever done like
It's
a
last team standing.
yeah,
Kinda.
basically. So whoever's first, you're gonna get drunk. You're gonna be out. So whatever your order is, for the 4 of you, I'd decide that now.
I would have Steph go first and me go last, and you two in the middle. That's how I would do it. Because Step is probably not going to get nearly as drunk and can last the longest. And then you two, and then I was the best drinker the last time. So
So
while
you can
they're
wrap it up.
drunk, yeah, I can wrap it up. Yeah. I think
Would-
that would be the smartest way to do it.
Would it be better? Yotev is not drinking to intoxication.
I mean, but you're
Yotev
allowed
made-
to tap out at any point.
Yes. So should we put Yotev second or third? Because if Yotev goes third and taps out earlier before third, that puts a lot of pressure for you having to take on two.
Unless we have Killian wipes out two of them because he's not going to feel it.
Potentially, we don't know. Killian, have you ever drunk before?
Maybe.
Jesus. Incredible.
How about mechanically, like like you taking a cup and putting it to your mouth, like you've done that before, correct?
I have faked drinking water. I've drank water, but it did nothing for me.
Okay, excellent. Perfect. That's the big thing. It's going to taste a lot different than water, and it might burn a little going down. But you should be fine.
Are you goblin-splaining how to drink to...
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
incredible.
Being a very concerned father.
Yeah.
He's explaining to an undead half-orc how to drink.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I would vote we do it that way.
I'm down with that.
I think
All right.
Killian goes first, and then
So-
one of you two, and then me.
Jeff first, who's second?
I can be if you want.
Sure.
Kenji second. Yotev's
Then
father-in-law
Yotev.
third. Ash fourth.
I can't remember his name for the life of me.
What if
Oh.
I had it.
Yotev go first for the intimidation factor? He orders a drink, doesn't touch it, and taps out. We don't need the extra person.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I kind of like that though.
God, you're so fucking smart. I like that too, honestly. And then
Killian, you go
Killian.
second.
I like that plan.
Yotev is
Alright,
going first. Killian,
So new order is Yotev's father-in-law,
yes.
You
Jeff,
have to go against the
Kenji. Shh.
Oh,
We're gonna stunt
I'll
on
go
him.
ahead.
Even if we lose, it's fine.
here, I'm gonna go ahead and place a hand on old Killian and give him the divine favor for those saving throws, or is that just the aura?
It's the aura, right? I think we all get it.
So there's the aura, or are you referring to bless, which is a D4 on attack rolls and saving throws?
I will go ahead and give him a bless as well, and I'll
There you
just
go.
lean into his ear and bless you, son.
Bless, I believe.
It's more than one person at a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's up to 3 creatures. So if you want to hit the 3 people that are actually drinking, you can give all 3 of them a
The ones that
D4.
are heavily drinking, yeah.
I will, but it says you have no available spell slots with which to cast bless.
Yeah.
You do. That's wrong.
We've rested, unless because you haven't used anything, I don't think.
No, but it's not letting me. Let me just.
It's
go ahead and
okay.
do a long rest real quick.
I was gonna say you definitely have
there
all
we
of
go.
our stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, because this is the first thing we're doing, really.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Ability
Now-
wise all day.
what this means is that the people who are drinking, being Killian, Kenji, and Cassandra, all 3 of you can add a D4, and you can add a 4 to your saving throws because of Varnak's aura. So that's a 4 plus a D4
On everyone.
on all con saves during this. Yeah.
Um,
Plus
welcome.
4.
So you turn that order in, Yotev. Is there any other last minute preparations before you guys get started? or before this goes in.
These aren't ability checks, right? These are saving throws that we're gonna be
Saving
doing.
throws, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So guidance isn't gonna help here. Never mind.
Question
Answer.
is if Dad casts bless and I cast bless, does it stack because it's two different people that casted it?
No.
Okay. I've never done it. I didn't know.
Otherwise, double haste would go fucking crazy.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Or the double enlarge reduce.
I mean,
Yeah.
you technically could cast Bane on them.
I think enlarge reduce can be done twice because it goes up. No, does it
No.
not?
You cannot gain the effect of the same spell more than once.
Oh, okay.
You're a special case because you're not technically casting enlarge when you use your armor, but you can then use the enlarge spell on yourself.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Go to super tiny.
Yeah.
And it's Yotev enter the quantum realm.
Waiting for that. That's
Okay.
gonna be fun.
Second question before we start. Am I able to cast haste on one of them because it only lasts a minute and then it forces them to not be able to do anything? Cheating it against the rules before we start.
It would be considered cheating it against the rules. If you still want to cheat and would like to try, you can.
Oh boy.
Because I've got subtle spell.
If you would like to try to cheat, you can.
This
Last
is the
resort,
turning-
maybe.
This is the turning point.
Right? Because it says that the only thing they can do is use an object action. So we aren't in combat, and then when the spell ends.
Well, Yotov did say that this isn't necessarily a must
Right.
win.
It's a concentration and it lasts up to a minute. Can I cast it and then drop concentration immediately?
Yeah,
I will do that.
Oh god.
Excellent. Okay. I'm ready.
We've just went from a
Alright.
game that we do not have to win to being highly competitive in this game that we do not have to win.
Well, now the stakes are not high enough.
Now the stakes are high enough. So now
I do
we
have
have
a question. Alcohol is considered a poison, right?
it is. You will be rolling with advantage.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna
I think
go
I
ahead and
also
roll
roll
the
with
thing.
advantage.
Yes, I believe you do as well.
Yeah.
Haste has to be a willing creature.
Oh yeah.
They
Mike?
talk about that much.
Michael,
I
throw
hate you! Michael!
You can certainly try.
God forbid we just play the game and beat these guys.
Why can't you let me do fun things?
I'm gonna let you know now. I'm aware of that strategy. Michael saved you because trying and getting caught would have just made it to where you got in trouble. Because it wouldn't have worked.
I'm already thinking of ways we can cheat. Don't you worry.
You know what's
He's gonna cast entangle on them, and they're
No, why would I do that when I've got a invisible mage hand that does not require verbal or somatic
Oh sweet
components?
Christ.
just knock the drinks out of their hand.
Just fireball. We're good.
That's what we're drinking.
Oh god, I'm typing out now.
Any other last minute prep?
No.
I don't think so.
So, whenever the top of the hour comes, this sort of gong-like chime begins to play on the wall-mounted clockwork timepiece. As it does, you see the Irina, the bartender, fully drags over a step stool and walks herself up on top of the bar, and in this loud booming voice yells, "All right, everyone, the hour of honor is upon us. We have a challenging group. if our reigning champions, and she gestures towards the back where your friends, Yotev, have been sort of sitting in this back corner, would be so willing to come up to the bar, and our challengers, as she gestures to you all, would be able to do the same. As they make their way up, you see that they already are taking out these little coins from their bags or pouches or pockets or whatever, and they slap them all down on the table and begin to sit in this section. The dwarven guy that you saw before is sitting in the first seat. There's a gnome in the second seat. Then there's the minotaur. Then there's the Goliath. So it seems like they've got the two big guys in the tail end. As you all head on up, Yotev, you sit down right next to this dwarvish fellow. He sort of looks you, gives you a grunt and a nod. Then Killian, you go in and sit next to Yotev, followed by Kenji and Cassandra. As she sort of stands in between the two groups, she says aloud, "Now I'm sure you're all aware of the rules, but I'll go over them just in case any of you haven't been here before. You drink until you drop, or until you lose your drink entirely. And at which end, you go to the back of the line, and you're out. If you outlast the person across the bar from you, congratulations, but stay in your seat, as the next person will be taking their spot. When all four of either team are out, the other team will be declared the winner. And as your illustrious prize, you get the coins set before them," as she gestures to these coins that were set out. "These will be good for a free drink a night for the entire time that you're here in Hupperdook, and it marks you as the current champions of the Hour of Honor. Now, are there any questions?" Good. She grabs these two sort of like long, almost Doc Ock style winding hoses and attaches them onto her shoulder, and then they come down around her arms so that she's holding them each. She looks towards you, Yotev, looks towards the dwarf and goes, "All right, present your cups." She holds them over, and a fountain of beer and foam comes sloshing into your cups as she pulls them back. Round one.
Beer. Oh, good.
Yotev. You take a quick sip, a quick smell. This is beer. Calling it beer is pushing it. This is incredibly dark. It's incredibly heavy. This is not like a
Guinness.
It's a fantasy Guinness. It is a Guinness that is just, you're basically chewing the wheat in this. It is thick. As you go to take your first drink, if you're going to drink this one, please go ahead and roll a con save.
Yeah. Yotev is essentially drinking until he knows that he can't. Not necessarily that he's drunk off his ass. He's just when I'm done, I'm done.
Okay. The first person you're going up against is a dwarf, so they also have advantage, much like Killian.
That's fine.
Damn.
Yeah.
You begin by showing why alcoholism has really built up that tolerance. You go and slam back, and he slams back too. He's also pretty good at holding his drink. Not nearly as good as you though.
Has that got the?
That doesn't have the +4 and the D4 on there.
So yeah, he has a +4. He doesn't get the D4. The three of you got the D4.
That's true.
So that is a 29 technically.
Yeah.
So do keep that in mind.
Is there any like side betting or anything going on?
If you would like to make a side bet, abso-fucking-lutely, go for it.
So we know
I wanna
the game's
try.
rigged, so we can.
You should bet that the
against
goblin is gonna go
Yotev.
out, tap out first.
No, I want to wait for Yotev to tap out, and then I want to see if I can put in a bet that our team is going to win after he taps out.
Okay, yeah. There you can see that there's not like an official betting thing, but there are people on the side who absolutely take the time to do bets. You see, there's like people putting coins into like a small clay cup, to bet on it.
I can't. I'm broke as fuck.
Yeah, your new shiny armor is all the wealth of your person.
Mattel hasn't always been this fab.
With that first one down, the sort of Doc Ock arms of booze come back down as a new round gets poured. Go ahead and make another con save. You need to beat a 21.
Nope.
All right, that's an X on Yotev. Sorry, X on Yotev's father-in-law.
Yeah, he definitely.
This is, by the way, for prosperity. This is first to 3 losses, so this is now
Oh, okay.
1 loss each.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what it is. It's not a endurance thing. It's a. Yeah. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I see.
Otherwise, we're sitting here rolling for potentially forever. This is just the first to 3 wins. The other person drops, and then in comes the next person.
So it really doesn't matter your stamina on this then.
From a like logistics standpoint, no. But if Yotev over here gets hot dice and just keeps rolling like 18s and 19s, then he can technically outdrink the entire group. Especially with your plus
That's not
4.
gonna happen with Yotev.
No.
No, probably not with Yotev.
First off, rude, but you know.
Third round pours into the drinks. Go ahead and you only got to beat a 15.
Come on.
He does.
That's a 19?
19, yeah.
Second round, he goes, and it's a little back and forth, and there's a bit of like an impressive thing, as you know, a lot of the dwarves in here are pretty proud of their ability to hold liquor. They can tell that a lot of people kind of assumed. Yeah, he's a local. He's known. They kind of assumed, oh, the goblin's gonna get out really fast. There's some people currently sweating about the money that they put in. Another thing goes over. 24 is what you gotta beat.
Come on.
There you go.
Hot dice.
With that, Duncan, with the third drink, sort of puts it down. He looks like he's starting to sweat a little bit, and as he goes, he starts to hiccup, and fully turns and pukes over the side. As he does, Irina immediately sort of claps her hands together and goes, "That's the first one out. Round 1 goes to the little guy. Go ahead and make your rounds," and points to the guy at the end. "The moment you've sobered up, you're cleaning that shit up too. All right." They all do this circle. It is now the gnomish guy who goes and gets his cup ready, and both of you get filled to the brim.
So that's 3 drinks now, right? How is like? Can I check to see how Yotev is feeling? Like with that,
so
like...
you've only lost 1. You're definitely getting like a level of buzz. The way I would probably put it is 1 loss is like a buzz, 2 losses would be drunk, and then 3 losses is like blackout.
Okay.
For the purpose of making it simple.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
Yeah. Well.
You're wanting to go one more, aren't you?
I want to go one more just for like the statistic of if I beat him at least once, that means Kenji only has to beat him twice, or beat him one other time, and it makes it like easier.
But do you want to get drunk while Tanya's here?
I don't. That's the other thing. Is I don't.
You should tap.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Yotev is gonna turn the drink over, the glass over, and place it down before it gets filled.
But that little one.
Yotev doesn't need to continue.
Kind of looks over towards the others and shrugs. You all rotate. So, Killian, you are now in. The gnome next to you kind of gives a little bit of a smirk in your direction as he sort of smiles at you and goes, "Good luck, big guy. I drink better than I look like I do." Kind of squints you a little bit closer and goes, Are you feeling alright? You look a little pale already. Are you already drunk?
I'm just gonna stare him down, and of course,
That's
you have the
nice.
glow coming out of the cracks of my eyes. And I'm just gonna move my cup over. Let's drink.
At this point, I'm gonna try to put 7 gold on our team.
Okay, make a deception check for me.
Deception.
That's not good.
Aren't you so confident though that we are going to win?
It's a level of bluffing, effectively. Like, oh, I'm innocently putting this money down, right?
That's fair. That's so fair.
Alright, that is a 3 minus 1 for a 2.
Interesting. Wow. You get a lot of folks around you kind of look at you suspiciously and kind of go, one guy kind of goes, listen, I hear you've got a lot of faith in these strangers and stuff, but we're all over here sort of betting with silvers and coppers. 7 whole gold's a bit rich for my blood. I think I'm alright there, man.
Oh, too high.
The to get filled, your score to beat for your first roll is only a 12.
Can I ask
He got advantage.
He
Why
does
the gnome
have
got advantage?
So just to put this in perspective, this is a con save, right?
Yeah.
So my con save is +7. I automatically
Cool.
get a 4 from the bless, right?
Yep.
And then I automatically roll a die. I'm gonna beat Toll no matter what.
Holy shit.
But just for the sake of rolling,
So your normal is a 7. You get 4 from the aura, which is 11, and then a D4 and the D20.
that'll be
Insane.
31.
31.
Holy fuck.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
If I'm small the whole time we've been in here, my cup is also small, right? Like I wouldn't be drinking a normal person cup.
Yo, regulation sizes.
I think you would have to be like a regulation size, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
like
be
way
standard.
bigger than me. Check.
I appreciate
Yeah.
the hustle.
Yeah.
They gave you a little twisty
It would
straw
still
that
be
like
the same
I
amount
also
of
think
alcohol.
proportionally it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Um,
It was the intimidation of me being
You got a-
teeny
you
tiny
got a
going
31.
against a Goliath.
It's just so
Yeah. The 31,
you make it.
the gnome takes a drink, and all of a sudden is already kind of doing a little bit of getting a little bit tipsy. Looks over at you, sees that you look stoic and unfazed.
Before he says anything, I'm just gonna keep staring at him stoically and move my cup and just say another.
She goes, "All right, let's go." Fills up another 2. His next
Come on.
is a 19. Better,
Still.
but easily beatable still.
Right, I was like, it's still.
23.
What are you gonna...
23. Another one. He gets a second. Starting to sweat a lot now. Is fully inebriated. Your last is only a
Jeff, what's
14.
your lowest
So
that you have to get, like, that you can get? I forget. You just said it.
13.
33.
That's crazy.
33.
And this is why
No.
I said to put him first.
The last one. He gets halfway through, and there's a point where his eyes start to roll a bit. He hiccups, and as he does, the cup is refilled. And he fully starts to like tilt backwards, grabs the desk, arm drops the drink, it just splatters all over the ground, and he slowly gets brought back up and moved around to the back.
The next one.
The Minotaur goes and sits himself down next to you. He seems to have a lot closer of a demeanor as you. He does not say a word. He does not make any comment. He just fully goes over and he sits down and he nods his head to the bar as they go.
We're 2
they
for
fill
2
up.
right now. Let's go.
He's a Minotaur.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. I'm just gonna softly say, man, he smells like bullshit.
During this time, is Yotep able to leave the table, or is he have to like sit at the
You're
end?
at the end of the bar. If you want to like stand up and go do something, it's not against the rules. But they basically have you rotate out with the idea of you like sticking together as a group to either cheer on or just sort of
Yeah.
nurse a cup of water to sober up or whatever.
Wherever-
but it's not like
wherever-
against the rules to leave.
Okay. He's kind of like walked over to the Tanya just to like be by her.
Mhm.
And look to her and be like, "That's it."
13 is your next one. That is an auto success, I believe. You can
Yeah.
roll
It's
to put me to
amazing.
shame if you'd like.
28.
Fuck yeah. He hits it back, puts it down. He doesn't wear the sort of inebriation as much as the gnome does. He just slams it down. 24 is the next one.
Ooh.
Challenge.
For once.
30.
30.
Oh, not even phased.
Another.
Not even phased.
The last, potentially, is only an 18.
Those are some damn good rolls too.
This is match point.
19.
Nice.
Barely eking him out. He drinks the last one. He kind of looks over at the Goliath next to him and just shakes his head. And she looks a bit disappointed, but nods and like allows him to stand up. And he puts the cup down upside down and walks out.
I'll
Walks
nod at that.
around.
Not at the competitor.
Divya now moves over, sits down next to you, sort of looks you up and down, gives a nod of respect, and puts out a mug in front to pour.
I'll
Pours the
mess him
two.
up.
Gonna be some cheating motherfuckers going on here in a second. I'm
Yeah, I
watching
know,
for
right?
cheating. I'm watching for cheating.
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm watching for cheating.
Go ahead and roll.
Check.
Go ahead and roll and tell me what I have to beat.
You go ahead and roll. Tell me what I gotta beat.
Wow.
You to beat a natural 20 for
Mhm.
33.
For 33.
What a critical success.
Right?
It's almost like they have to hit a natural
34.
22.
I think of how I want to do this.
Watch cheat.
They also get a
Fucking
critical
stab him.
success. Rollsies.
Really steamrolling the competition away.
cheating going on.
There's cheating.
I'm trying to think of what the best way to do this would be. Killian, you drink and you put it back. I think for the first time this entire time, you do start to feel something. It's weird because a lot of intoxication is about the alcohol getting into your bloodstream and its blood alcohol levels and stuff like that. Considering your heart doesn't beat, it's really weird that you would begin to feel this level of inebriation. But I will go ahead and tell you now, you lose your first competition with a natural 20. Not that...
Huh?
This is bullshit. Rigged.
Mhm.
Rigged.
To be fair, the man did have at least 6
Yes,
The next two put up,
that are basically hard Guinness.
they get poured. Looks over towards you, holding hers up. Gives sort of a wry smile and goes to drink. Go ahead and roll again.
While they do that, can
Mhm.
can I check 2 things?
Sure.
Just like if they're not paying attention to me, can I cast Detect Thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, and can I focus it on? Is it Davina? And second of all, is she under the effect of anything magical right now?
How would you like to determine that second part?
By using Detect Thoughts too, if she's kind of thinking about it, or potentially looking on her person, just like if I can use like some sort of like Arcana, just looking at.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
What do I have here? Absolute trash, probably. Oh, +2, incredible. Dirty 20. It was an 18.
30-20. You look down. There, the gnome at the end definitely seems to have some level of like arcane ability, and he did seem, even though he'd lost pretty quickly, and so did the Minotaur, they both did seem to like hold it very well. This stuff is vile crap. It is a lot. You wouldn't be shocked if there was some sort of arcane something at play. But Killian also slammed that one back with relative ease and has been doing incredibly well. It's weird that she seems as unfazed as she does, consider the fact that Killian quite literally is like a
He's like
undead,
a powerhouse. Yeah.
Powerhouse at this.
So
it's weird.
Am I seeing it from the goblin then? Like that they're like concentrating like aggressively so on. Is it? It's Davina, right? Am I saying the name right?
Divya.
Divya. Are they
from the gnome, you mean?
Yeah. Like, do I? Just a natural perception of 23. If you go to roll, I can.
Oh, for a perception check? Actually, yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check as well, because this will change some stuff potentially.
Give him advantage.
21.
Never mind.
21. You recognize as you sort of look down. You're trying to think of what is happening here. Did you roll, by the way, Step?
I did.
What'd you get?
28.
All right, I'm marking that as another loss. You're checking. You watch as this second one goes. You see them drink. For some reason, Killian's starting to lose steam. Killian's been doing this for a minute. And as you're watching, you look down the line. One of the mugs is thrown on the floor behind. The other two are holding their mugs that have been emptied and are filled it up with water. You guys all have your mugs out. Yotev left his on the end. With a 21, you recognize at this point all the mugs on your side look the exact same. All the mugs on their side look the exact same, except hers is slightly different. Like the handle's different.
Yeah.
Look a little closer. There's like a little bit of almost paint, like fresh paint gloss on the tankard that she's holding.
Well, I don't like that. Is it against the rules to destroy mugs?
I mean, it's probably against the tavern's like general code of conduct to destroy property, but code of conduct to destroy property, but
I wish I could see this.
I can't use Yotev's tears here. That would be weird.
it would be weird. You used detect thoughts though, right?
Yeah.
You detect thoughts. You don't get any like hand rubby like mwahaha I'm doing something evil sort of thing coming off of her. What you're getting is she's looking at the bartender to Killian and then like glancing and cutting an eye over in Yotev's direction. And the general thing that you're reading off of it is like a curiosity and wonder as to what Yotev wants. Why is he here? What is he after? It's sort of her general surface thoughts. If you like to dig deeper and try to find stuff out, you can certainly try.
Not right now, but what I would like to do, if you will, is there any? If I'm not up, I would be next, right? Can I get up? Like out of my seat?
You can.
So
It'd be like you gotta hurry back if you're going to go do something because you're potentially next.
I'm going to crawl onto the table, like the ring style, like come out at like, you know what I mean, like fucking like hands backwards, like just crawl onto the table. My head is upside down. I'm gonna stand up in front of. I can't remember their name, and I'm a terrible person for that. With my my back
Divina?
facing them, but my Divina, right? Did I say that right?
Divya.
Divya. Fuck.
Divya.
Fuck.
Like
all
Divya
right.
for men.
Yeah, Divya.
With a D.
So I'm gonna stand up. My back is facing them, but my head's facing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna turn
Sure.
around, and I'm gonna say to like so the bartender can hear, be like, it's not nice to cheat. And I'll go to pick up their mug.
She sort of like holds the mug back as it does. Some of the alcohol like sloshes out of it, like rolls down her arm. She sort of looks down at you like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Interesting paint you have on your cup there. What is that?
Interesting paint you've got on your freaky little face there. What's wrong with you?
Nothing yet until you start to cheat to win.
She looks up at the bartender's like, you gonna do something about the little freak show here, or do I need to?
What did the alcohol look like that spilled down her arm?
Looks like dark, thick, sticky alcohol.
Okay.
Motor oil.
Not changed.
Yeah, visually it doesn't look like it now.
Okay.
I didn't realize that Goliaths were so cowardly that they needed to cheat to win drinking competitions.
Oh shit.
Use another cup if you're so confident that you can win.
Bitterness and envy doesn't look so good on you, little man.
Oh, there's no
Get yourself back in line. And she goes and she dumps the whole thing on you.
That's all right. Use another cup, or we'll all know the coward you are.
Looks up at the barkeep. The fuck is this one on about? Get him back in his seat. She sort of looks down, very confused, holding these massive, like comically large tubes. Still, she's like, you got something to say there? What's going on?
This Goliath apparently needs to cheat to win. There's some paint-like substance on her cup.
She sort of looks over the cup, looks back down at you, looks back up at it. It's like, If it's gonna make you feel better, we can always try to. Let's get back in your seat. Hold on. There's
Just
like
fucking,
They
rumblings.
can take my cup and hand them mine because mine is from the bar and she doesn't have to do anything. And if anything, they wouldn't have tampered with ours.
Well, it's gonna look suspicious either way, isn't it?
Hold up. There's like grumblings from the crowd behind as you're like stalling this thing. She unhooks the stuff and puts it down, goes and says, "All right, I'm gonna need to see your cup." Divya fully puts her hands up and goes, "This is fucking ridiculous. Are we gonna listen to some creepy ass doll over some stupid allegation of cheating, or are we gonna fucking drink? If anyone is potentially cheating here, it's the man that outdrank 2 of our people and doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat."
It sounds like
You're just mad you have a
coward.
bad tolerance!
Looks over and like makes direct eye contact with you, Yotev. Cocks a bit of an eyebrow and looks back towards Kenji. Kenji, with your detect thought still going, you're getting like a mental, almost like a shit moment of like basically an almost level of like panic of trying to figure out, like someone backed into a corner trying to figure a way out.
I'm gonna look at them and I'm gonna cock an eye, be like, interesting that you're so worried about what's gonna happen next. Good luck.
If you're not cheating, it wouldn't matter for her to look at the cup, so I don't know why you're
She-
making a fuss about it.
She looks you dead in the eye, Kenji, and goes, "Any woman within 5 feet of you has probably felt nervous about what's going to happen next."
Excellent.
She like nods over towards Bjordak and goes, "Hand me your cup." Takes it, passes her cup over to him. Goes,
No, bar cup, not one of your team cups.
Bar
it-
cup,
does it- does it
bar
look-
cup.
Does it
Bar
look like
cup.
it looks the same as all the others on the line.
not like the
Only
paint
hers
substance and
look
stuff?
different. Yeah,
Yeah,
only
okay.
hers look different.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's like, "All right, fine." She tosses the cup behind and grabs one from behind the bar.
There we go.
She specifically, because you said that, she tosses it in your direction, kind of like chump checking with a basketball.
At me?
Whose direction?
No, in Varnex.
I just catch it.
Yeah.
If I need to do it anytime.
To Varnex, can I ask him to check out the cup and the thing that I saw in there? Mentally
That was the-
to him?
That was the.
It was
from,
yeah. She handed the cup she held over her hand to the Minotaur and took the Minotaur's. Varnex said something and she threw the Minotaur's cup to him. So if you want to check the Minotaur's cup, you can do that.
Oh, no. I want to
She grabs some from behind the bar.
Okay, cool.
They go to do the drink. Go ahead and make your roll.
I'm still curious how you wanted to cheat. That's I'm still trying to figure you out over there.
Oh, he's already done it.
I'm looking at something real quick.
He
Okay.
slipped poison into all of their cups.
Jesus.
In about 5 minutes, they're going to start seizing.
Yeah. It's already happened.
It's too late for them.
Shame.
It'd be like the Hunger Games where he's like at the table and everybody else starts fucking dying.
I rolled a
One of you will betray me this evening.
14 plus 11 is 25 and a 3 on the d4. 28.
Plus 4, right?
28.
I added the 4 because
okay.
it's plus 4 and plus 7 for my
Gotcha.
con save to get the plus 11. So 14 plus 11 plus 3.
Okay, so 28. She loses. She takes her
Oh.
first.
Interesting.
What's the matter over there?
She takes. The bartender goes and refills again. Sheila gets a 15.
$25.
Big will, doesn't it?
25. It's another loss for her.
I'm not done with you yet.
I didn't hear no bell.
She sits there and she sort of stares at you for a moment, concerned, looks up at the barkeep, looks back down at you, and she shakes her head and goes, I don't know what in the world is wrong with you, but I can't outdrink you and the three behind you, and the two others behind you. And she just puts the cup down and doesn't take the third.
Hold on. I'm
What?
gonna reach into my pocket. I'm gonna pull out 10 gold.
Bet.
Last drink, just you and I. I am not done with you.
She kind of leans back from you and goes, I'm sorry, but I'm very much done with you. It kind of cocks the eye over at Kenji as well. Both of you. And she goes to stand and leave.
Interesting how that turns out when you don't use a rigged cup.
The four go back to their seat. The bartender goes, that's a new victors for the honor of hour of honor. It goes to put the hoses back down, goes over and collects the 4 coins and drops them into the three of your like in front of the three of you, and like looks over in your general direction, Yotev, and flicks the coin. You gotta snatch that out of the air. You get these little they're like tin coins that have been stamped with the logo of the Blushing Tankard, which is like this cute anthropomorphic looking tankard. It's almost like a tankard droid sort of a thing, with like this big rosy red cheeks, and looks like he's a little sloshed, and there's like alcohol coming out of the top, like foam coming out of the top of the tankard. And on the back it just says Hour of Honor Champion. And with those you get like a free drink for any time you're here. There's a applause in the back, a little confused, and certain people grumbling as they're like handing over coin and such.
Let you not forget the name Darrington. I'm gonna go sit.
You watch as at this point Duncan, Valken, and Bjordak are all like dragging themselves back off to the corner. She sort of, as she's starting to go by, looks and locks eyes with you again, Yotev, and just sort of gives you a look of like confused, trying to figure you out, and then keeps going towards the back.
Yotev, in a mocking fashion, is gonna blow a kiss and just
We're here to
turn
try to
his
act-
head.
Get her attention, not piss her the fuck off.
Yeah. She
fine.
gives like a weird scowl
That is getting
back
her
and
attention.
goes, she goes to sit back down. As she does, for... Ooh, this changes stuff because of the drunkenness. Let's go to...
How long
During-
did my thoughts last?
Yotev is gonna turn to Tanya, take her by the hand and place the coin that he got in it, and look at her and say, "This is it. No more. Yotev wants to be a better man and a better father for you." And he leaves it in the coin in her hand.
She looks down at it for a long moment, closes it around her fist, and like starts to squeeze it almost as if like crushing the thing could make it real, and says, "I'll be surprised if you're able to live up to that, but I hope you prove me wrong."
She's gonna make a big grin.
So I believe, Aiden, sorry, this is really slow. Um, Kenji. Not Killian anymore. And I want to say. Yeah, so Aiden, Killian, Aiden, Kenji, both of you with your passive perceptions, you notice that when they get back to the table, as she sits down, she palms that mug and it disappears into a bag on her side, and she pulls out a mug from underneath the table and puts it down on the top. And she sort of starts to kind of grumble towards the others on the table that they've sat around, and is sort of talking to them about something.
My detect thoughts is also still up for another 10.
Yeah. Mentally you get effectively a connection of what she's going on about, and she's saying, Goblin in the corner is definitely someone that we've had dealings with in the past. Not sure why he's around, but if you see anything else suspicious about him, just let me know.
And then just to Yotev will let him know that they are talking about him, looking for anything else suspicious, but they've clocked you. Essentially what you just told me, tell Yotev.
Okay. I forget, is that a two-way link or is that just a one-way link?
I also forget because it changed.
I thought it was 2, but I could be wrong.
I don't think we changed what the wording was, but what we agreed on might have changed.
The wording changed because it comes from a different source now. You can speak telepathically to any creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The utterances are in a language you know, and the creature understands only if it knows that language. Your communication doesn't give the creature the ability to respond to you telepathically. So no, it's a one-way.
Okay.
Yotev will give Kenji a little nod. If we're close to each other, say Yotev will understand.
As long as you are moving your lips, I can understand what you're saying. I don't even need to be close to you. As long as I'm looking at you and I can read your lips, yeah.
Yeah, he can also read lips, so you can basically just like mutter something.
Yeah, please don't do
Be able
that.
to see what they're doing across the bar then. What they're saying.
I mean, essentially, but I mean, I've already got detect thoughts, so I think it's better than reading lips. But if I see anything else that's worth switching for the next 10, if anything else is worth switching the focus from that group to like playing in the background, can I just auto switch it to that thing that's happening? I don't know what would happen.
I mean, if you would like to interrupt at any point and say, I would like to switch, feel free to do that.
Okay. Cool.
With that, a lot of people go back to their tables and start drinking again. Your group is able to go back and reselect the table that you've nudged people out of before. As you sit down, you get a couple people come by and like pat you on the back, especially Killian, for like tanking like a bunch of that back to back to back, and just like bits of like bits of praise of like, holy shit, that's crazy. And like that kind of pats, but they're very very quickly like leave you to your own business. They kind of say their piece and and take off. Yotev, what are you doing?
First off, Yotev is gonna check on Killian just to see that if he's doing okay. There's a
Hey,
lot.
Varnax,
Yes.
it works. I feel it.
It took enough. I assumed that it would take mass quantities. Might be a little less if it were fire whiskey.
Fire sounds dangerous.
Not that kind of fire, Killian.
I'll
Do you
do it.
like this? Do you feel okay? Are you good? Do you need help?
Does he need a lay of hands or anything to help him out there?
Does Kenji need to
mean-
smack you across the face and get the poison out?
I don't know.
I don't have the one that cures disease or whatever. I don't know that I can sober him up anyway.
I'm just gonna sit down for a bit.
Water's not going to help him.
is there
Still-
like
Still watching the group. Sorry, I heard you guys.
Yeah.
Still watching the group. I'll just reach over and then just punch him and like draw like a thing after reaching for my orb, draw it on his chest and punch it into his chest. It's been a 40 something days. Is it Physician's Touch is what I'm going to use. And I will end poisoned condition on him.
Killian, you get like Kenji sort of reaches over, and it's this tiny itty bitty little hand in comparison to your massive broad chest that goes right into your sternum, and there's a moment of like sharp pain, and all of a sudden that pain like shoots what neurons are left in your body into your mind and goes back down, and all of a sudden like the clarity sort of washes back over you. You still feel a little heavy, and every time you move quickly, you feel a little bit of like the sloshiness in your belly, but you're no longer inebriated.
He's gonna exude just the smell of this. Oh God.
he's gonna have
Um,
to pee like a racehorse?
Well, that was weird. Thank you.
We just tip you upside down now, maybe, and get rid of the liquid in you, but I don't think rice will work as well as it did with me.
Can I try to find somewhere to puke out the liquid so it's not as uncomfortable?
Yeah, you can like walk out and go find a alleyway to puke in, or go find a bathroom to start losing the
You just
losing your
reverse,
lunch over.
just reverse keg stand like a toilet. You're basically just like upside down, just water like or the beer just like leak out of you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find a quiet place to go purge.
Sure.
Yeah. Wild.
As you what the heck?
It's still sharing and still playing.
Okay, I'm just not gonna enter my password where people can see it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Weird. As you go and do that, Killian, Kenji, you get a little bit extra as she's sitting there. She kind of at this point is this entire time ever since she's sort of not been paying attention to what the other people have been saying conversationally. You've just been getting a general sense of like frustration mixed with like idle curiosity. Seeing that Yotev has just sort of gotten their group to lose this competition and not done anything thus far, she goes to stand up, and you get the mental ping of just like, whatever, I'm done with this. And she looks like she's grabbing the others to get up to leave.
Do you want to do something with her because she's looking to go? You haven't made any moves since winning this thing, so she's looking to leave.
Yotev was giving her a moment to cool off. Seems like she was pretty mad that she got caught cheating. Hmm.
You might want to do something now then.
Oh God. It has been 40 something days, and I forget what information I wanted to get out of her. I'm looking for stuff. To see what I can find.
So you
I
know
know
that
she works with Mr. Cole.
yes, you know that a lot of people are having their businesses shut down and get purchased out by Mr. Cole. You
Yes.
know that there are a lot of inventors that are having their stuff, their inventions get purchased and then mass produced by Sparkle Spell instead. You know that there are some weird stuff going on with like the military. There's a lot of things you could potentially ask to see what she knows. It really just depends on what she actually knows. There's a lot of threads that you could go down. It's more a matter of what threads do you want to try to follow.
Sure, yeah. Yotev would approach her. And be like, let's go see them out. And grab the party and essentially be like, let's go.
So before you go, I'm just gonna go and heat up some dinner. But if you're with them, and I assume probably this is gonna be like 1 point if you're asking them, I'll just relay to you anything that goes through her mind. Like if you're talking probably about the first point, and then the spell would be done within like the 10 minutes, I assume.
Okay.
If that's cool with Snooky.
Works.
Cool.
So yeah, I'd want to gather the group to walk with them as they're heading out.
Yeah. You and the group start to basically follow them out. As you're going, you see that she's basically having the Minotaur, who seems to have recovered a fair bit. Like, he didn't go until he puked. So he seems to still have an element of his sobriety about him.
Mm-hmm.
As you follow him out, or follow them out, she seems to kind of like look over her shoulder and see that you're showing some level of interest either in them or in like following them around, and she gets a little bit of like a grumble to her as she notices that, but she kind of fully stops and turns to almost address your general direction. Leans, sort of crosses arms, leans back on a back foot, and the Minotaur just sort of has the two stand off to the side, and Foley stands behind her, and she looks down at you and goes, "All right, what do you want?"
First off, I know her first name, right? Like offhand, right? It's Divya. Tivia.
Mhm.
Yeah, Divya. Great to see you. Great match again. Inside, he's gonna extend an arm out, again, for a handshake. Just as a formality.
She looks down at you. Kenji will inform you that there's a level of severe distrust in thinking that this is some sort of trick, but she kind of eyes you up and down and then reaches her hand out to shake yours very briefly and then goes back to folding her arms.
Excellent. Do you mind if we walk for a minute? There's some things that Yotev has been hearing about Hupperduke recently that you'd like to get some more information on, if possible.
I very much do mind. I'd rather have this conversation over with and we can go ahead and go our separate ways. I have no intention of going anywhere with you or your creepy friends.
They're quite crazy characters, Yotev understands. really quickly, Yotep is curious about um, all of the business that Mr. Cole may be brewing up recently. What's new in Hupperdook and Mr. Cole's newest escapades?
Squints, staring down at you, and goes, "At what point have I ever been forthcoming with my employer's work?"
And what are you up to these days?
Well, I'm not getting free drinks anymore, if that's what you're asking.
Can I, in her head, I'll give you this worthless coin if you open up to us about some of this information that my friend here is asking for you. I mean, assuming that you don't want to use it with the mug that you put into the bag of holding by your side.
He kind of looks over in your direction. You get the sense of like just a intense frustration in your general direction, Kenji. And she looks back towards you, Yotep, and says, "I've been keeping busy doing what I normally do. Just working as a liaison between the owners of this fair city and Mr. Cole. Nothing new. Why? What's it to you?"
Yotep is just very concerned about the amount of different inventors who seem to be going out of business recently. And then now we have, the military wandering in and doing whatever it is that they're doing. And the sparkle spells seem to be mass producing a lot of other artificer inventions. A lot of weird things are happening in the Upper Duke. Not like the old
Well,
days.
a lot of things have changed since your shop closed down. You expected everything to stay the same.
No, but not to change like this, not this drastically. It seems a bit much,
Business.
doesn't it?
Maybe. Maybe not. I get paid the same. Why do you care? You're not tied up in this anymore. You don't have a property for us to suggest you sell to us anymore, unless you're looking to open up a new shop, in which case Mr. Cole would be more than happy to show you some of the places that are now up for rent.
As wonderful as that prospect sounds right now, Yotev is not looking to open up shop currently.
Mm.
Maybe in the future, we'll see. But Yotev is just going to come out and be honest here. Yotev does have ties to potentially things that are happening and is very concerned about them. Recently, Yotev had some prototype plans taken from him. And seeing as the sparkle spells are also known for drumming up things at a better budget than most of the other artificers here, he's growing concerned about some of the things that are happening between the sparkle spells and the military that might be happening.
Was there a question in there?
Do you know anything of what's going on with the sparkle spells currently?
Part of my job is keeping tabs on different businesses going around, so of course I've made some observations. If you're asking me to give up intel, it's going to cost a lot more than just a coin that gives me a free drink every night.
What's your price?
The sparkle spells? 100 gold.
Alright, 1 platinum is 10 GP.
Mhm.
Yotev is gonna pass over the 10 plat.
Takes it, looks down, and notices that it's 10 platinum pieces instead of 100 gold. Looks back up at you, and down at it. Came into a windfall, have we?
Adventuring leads to a very prosperous lifestyle. Sometimes.
Well, the sparkle spells have, gained themselves a new benefactor. Some uptight individual from, Rexentrum. Don't know much about him in particular, but we've been trying to sniff out any information on him. Whatever it is he's up to, he's been buying out people's inventions and having Sparkle Spell mass produce them for wartime effort and other means of mass producing for turning around a good profit. That profit's going towards some project of some kind. Not sure what. Hired your good buddy, too. As far as I know. Once all this is said and done, I'm not entirely sure what the end goal is, but at the very least, for now, it seems like the end goal might be profit and whatever this special project is that they're working on.
You know where they're hosting this special project?
I haven't been able to find that out yet.
Yotev is going to look at her and in like almost an act of desperation he's gonna say to her Yotev's son is in danger if it's connected with what Yotev believes it's connected with.
Kenji, about the end of your mental detect thoughts is coming up here. As the last of that 10 minutes goes, the last sort of thing that you get from her on the base level is intrigue at what Yotev has just said, and an immediate thought of he seems to know something, and if his son is in danger, that means he may be able to able to be persuaded into helping us. And at that point, the sort of mental connection you have starts to static and go out. You did make an insight check.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, incredible. Fucking incredible. Where is this insight? Oh god, 27?
Jeez. There's a level of not malice, but like, what's the best word for it? It's almost like a level of it gives like the same implied feeling of like a cat playing with a mouse. Like, oh, this is something I can. It's almost like a I don't know. There's like a level of, oh, I can control this situation. So it feels very much like she isn't thinking, oh, he could be useful in like a let's team up. It's more of a he could be useful in a we could potentially use Yotev as a pawn. So there's a level of like control that she's wanting to use over Yotev with this new information, as opposed to a mutual, respectful exchange.
To Yotev, real quick, I'll say she doesn't give a shit what you just said. And to her, I said, whatever you're thinking, I don't think you want to fuck around and find out.
She looks over towards you, like cuts the eye over and goes,
I will reduce you to a pile in the ground if you even think of doing what you just thought of doing to my friend.
and everything I know will be reduced to a pile on the ground with me.
Just
If
like
you're willing
you.
to sacrifice his son like that, then go for it. But Yotev, I assume you want to prevent that outcome. So let's talk. I think it's time that we set up a bit of a meeting between you and Mr. Cole. Perhaps an exchanging of ideas could be had at this juncture. You tell us what you know, and in the end, when the sparkle spells go out of business, this will just have to be around to sweep up what's left. Sounds like a win-win to me, does it not?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll, where are you staying?
We're at the Soot Swallow Inn.
Excellent. We'll be in touch. She looks back at Bjordak, who is still sort of standing there, looming behind her as like a attempted to be an intimidating presence. She just goes, "Pick those two up if you can, if you'd be so kind. We're done here." He goes over, and the two that were sort of told to lean against the wall have slowly started to nod off and are now fully like leaned on each other, asleep and on the side of the road. He just goes over, picks them both up, puts them on his shoulders, and begins to walk off. She as Bjordak goes to walk off, she kind of looks over her shoulder at you, Yotev, and says, "I look forward to doing business with you." She leaves. With that, it is pretty late in the evening. Still plenty of partying to go on, but you've got a potential meeting with Mr. Cole coming in the very near future. That being said, we are 10 minutes over if we'd like to go ahead and take a break. And we'll pick this up after break.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
It's
Behind the
shit.
scenes stuff is just so awesome.
Caleb, were you ready?
Alright, so
Yeah. No, awesome is a word for it.
as Divvy is walking away, I want to let her get some distance and then use Hunter's Mark on her and just kind of trail her back to where they're staying.
All right.
I could assist with that as well.
Do we get like an idea that they are staying in different places? Because I wanted like Hunter's Mark Bjordak, just to see if they go to a different spot, because they like live within the city, right?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they'll drop the two off that are like passed out somewhere. But
Because I could channel divinity for Crush the Weak.
What does that do?
yeah, it's like
As a bonus action, you can call out a creature within 30 feet of you as inferior. You have advantage on all checks made to track the marked creature for the next hour. You
That's
can use
crazy.
effect early as a free action to grant yourself and your allies advantage on all melee attack rolls made against the creature for 1 round.
I hate that because you literally yell, "You're weak as shit," and you know where they are for the next hour.
I kind of love it.
I mean, I could just say, "You do know we won." I mean, that's not. It's an insult, but it's not bad.
you weren't even part of the team.
He's too busy drinking coffee.
What
to
did you
drink
do
alcohol.
over there, Aiden? My old divine aura helped Killian maintain.
He tried to run a gambling ring.
And
Uh,
Yotev, because we all know Yotev would have fell out.
I knew that we didn't need any help. I was keeping an eye on what everyone else was doing.
I strategized for us. So, yeah.
You used strategery.
Ryan would have been fine.
Where did
We already know that.
Fragging go?
Great question.
Perception check.
There he is. He's hiding under the box.
Let me see. Perception.
He might be putting the kids to bed.
I got a
that might be-
14. Do I find him?
No.
No.
With his stats, no.
Damn
It's passive stealth.
You didn't even notice he walked away until he'd been gone for 5 minutes.
I wasn't looking at the. I wasn't looking. At this. He can probably hear us too.
He can, yes.
Probably. All right.
I appear right behind Varnex. Yeah, my kids were. They need more horse tranquilizer to go to bed.
Your kid.
Sure,
Just throw a
sure.
brick to the head and knock them out. There you
The
go.
fuck? No, that's
Good night.
inhumane, dude. Just
What?
yeah,
He
dude.
happens to like his
That's why
kids.
you-
Wild concept.
It's the way you do it in the hood.
I don't live in the hood.
Maybe
dude.
in New York.
What the fuck? No, I'm
I'm
really
kidding.
worried about coming to visit you July 4th weekend, dude. Jesus.
Oh, you don't
No,
want
you'll
to
be fine.
anywhere in this country July 4th, dude. There's gonna
So
be
now-
explosions and shit
Jesus.
going off everywhere.
Yeah,
When I
it's
fly-
best
Yeah,
to
we
just-
hunters marked them. We know
Yeah.
where they are.
Yep, we follow them.
So you Hunter's Mark, which I believe gives. Let me.
Advantage on wisdom perception or wisdom survival checks made to find them.
So you allow that to happen. I assume, or you do that. Assume you allow them to sort of make their way out of your general range.
Yeah.
For that kind of stuff. As they get their way, a little ways away from you, you get your advantage. Let's do a quick.
before we do any rolls, do we want to split up and just let Aiden on his own follow them so it's not as gangly for us trying to mess up his tracking because he can track them and then we know.
I think he should have some level of backup.
I can go and be tiny and just sit on his shoulder.
I mean, I don't plan to confront them. I think knowing where they're staying might be beneficial.
Yeah, but she seems pretty adept at seeing things, so you do kind of stand out.
As he glistens in the light of darkness.
The light of darkness.
I mean,
The light of the
stand
moon of the
out.
darkness.
As the walking firehead like walks around in the middle of the night.
I mean, I don't think my hair is actually fire. I'm not Hades. Like it just
But you could be.
has a transition of red like fire.
So you're a lot less cool is what you're telling me. Got it.
He's just all ginger all the time.
Stick with what you know.
You got a little ginger in you too.
A little bit. I got a little bit of everything in me.
No one's gonna be able to use Soul Cage on me.
Cool.
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's
You're
why
who
he's
I
my
chose to
son-in-law.
marry.
That's why he's my son-in-law.
I made a choice.
Okay, so
Did you need me
I-
to roll or?
I'm just saying-
So it depends on who's going and what the plan is, right?
I don't think I should go.
Okay.
I don't think Killian should go.
My intention is to follow Divya, and if they happen to split off, I'm going to continue to follow Divya.
Who all, if anyone, is going with? If anyone is staying behind, I'll have Killian stay behind too, just so that I'm not rolling and potentially.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Yotev is gonna stay behind and escort Tanya back to the Soot Swallow Inn.
Okay. Killian will follow you then.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll go with him.
Varnex. What about Kenji and Cassandra?
I'll go
I'll
with.
go with Michael.
Yeah, same. I'll go with Aiden.
All right.
So for
Hell
the three
yeah.
of you, I need all three of you to roll a stealth check for me. That's what we're gonna start with then.
Cool.
See, that's
15 plus 8 is 23.
Okay, 23.
As I shuffle behind Aiden.
I got a 17.
17.
Shambly shadow.
You could do your creepy crawl.
21.
True. You know
21.
Act-
Very well done. Let me quickly double check their stuff.
Mhm. I actually
Uh.
shamble on the ground on all fours, crawling back arched.
Okay.
Head up.
Called Spider Climb, not Spider Walk.
Do the
Deep.
do the
Deeply upsetting. You guys. You follow behind, doing your best to keep out of the shadows, doing a fairly good, or out of the light and into the shadows. You do a good job of keeping a decent distance. Can you? Double check. Yeah, with that, Michael, if you don't mind, roll a. We'll make this a perception check, just to see if you can.
Modifiers.
Okay, perfect.
Bad. 13.
ooh, bad 13.
13. Okay. So with the 13, you're making your way through this sort of maze of streets. You don't there comes a point where they have turned onto a major alleyway and or major thoroughfare, and as you sort of allow them to get a little bit of a head start, you give them a couple of seconds of a pause to get somewhere, and you go to follow, and as you turn, they seem to have almost vanished out of here. At this point, there are a couple of different paths. You know that they were heading in a northern direction. Let's actually move you on the map to represent where you're at. They left here, headed down this way, and they turned onto this street here. So they were heading. Can you see my ruler?
Yeah.
So they were heading north here. You've got a couple of options. They could have turned this way. They could have entered one of these buildings, or gone into one of the alleys in that tuck in here. So what I'm going to ask from you guys is, do you want to try to cut down the other street? Do you want to search the left alleys or the right alleys? Split those up into the three, and depending on where you go, there's going to be... I will know which one they went down, but depending on which one you go, there's a chance of catching them or as to where they are, or you may just end up with a general area as opposed to an exact location.
Am I able to fly up above the buildings to see which way they went?
You're able to fly up above the buildings. It will be...
I can fly 30 feet up.
If you'd like to fly up there, you can go. You can make a perception check for me. This will be straight.
Uh, 17 plus 5 is 22.
There's a lot of movement in this area, so you're catching different people in different areas. As you're looking, you've got the option of left, right, or around that corner. As you look through, you effectively get the sense that in the right section, which is this one here, that you don't see any movement there, but there's a couple of things of movement in both of these sections that it could be. So I'll effectively say that right section is no longer an option. It's either that street or it's those alleyways right next to you.
Okay, I'll tell the boys that. So we got a 50-50 shot of choosing right now.
Should we split up and be stealthy?
Anyone?
We can split up if you want to. We already have a general idea of where they are, but more specific might be useful for us.
Yeah.
Then I'll send Desna with one of you. That way I've got eyes of both. So I'll send Desna with Aiden, and I'll go with Kenji.
Okay.
Because I can look through her eyes, right?
Is
Yes.
Sandra and Kenji alone?
Which group is going where? You've got one that needs to scour through alleyways and one that needs to go around that street and see if they can pick up the trail from there.
We'll go through the alleyways. Kenji and I will, because I can fly up and he and I can talk to each other.
Okay.
And then we'll
I can
send
also-
Michael down the street with Desna.
Also, every 6 seconds, I can do 90 feet of movement.
Yes, you can.
So we'll do the alleyways, and I'll stay up high.
Okay. I need a survival check from both groups. Aiden, you get to do this with advantage because of Hunter's Mark.
You can roll it for him.
All right. I got a 16 plus 5 for 21.
Oh,
21?
how do you do it? 'Cause I have
Yo,
two.
pays to be wise.
Does pay to be wise.
Paying dividends.
I think wisdom has like the most ability checks too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pretty good.
Between wisdom and charisma.
Oh, I'm not
I
gonna
got
be.
Intelligence has a lot too, so I don't know. I haven't sat down and counted.
I got a 2 on my lower one and a natural 20
Yo.
on my upper one
Mm-hmm.
for a 27.
Jesus.
For 27.
Hmm.
So the two of you, Cassandra and Kenji, you are sort of quickly moving through these alleyways, going in. It's almost like scuttling up to the side of an alleyway, sticking your head around the corner, not seeing anything, and then crawling across to the other one to go look down the other. This sort of creepy zigzag that you're doing. Cassandra, you're flying over and you're able to do like quick glances down these multiple sections. The both of you don't seem to pick up on anything. Aiden, as you're walking through, you catch as just as you sort of mentioned, both Divya and Bjordak are stepping out of this sort of side building or side entrance to a building, having dropped off the other two, and make their way across an alley to another side building to open and go in. They are right here. Do a little.
Interesting.
So you're able to mention that to Cassandra, as you're sort of flying through, you pause on a rooftop and sort of warg into Desna, and as you do, Aiden, you kind of are able to point out the direction and that building where they had crossed into.
So I'll relay to Kenji. And then
Can I commit this place to memory?
Already marked on your map?
It's that white dot you said, right?
Yeah.
This is
It's
where
like
murder.
It's like down
scene's
the
gonna be
road from
found
Yotev's
tomorrow.
old house.
Yeah,
Yep.
down here.
Yes, that white dot is Yotev's.
So just before we leave the area, since I saw them doing the hand gestures and stuff to communicate, I think I would just look around and see if I see any markings immediately around the area.
Yeah. You do a thorough check. I'll keep that. So I'll honor that 21 a little bit more. You go to look around. You do see these sort of marks. There are specific etchings that people will often do to mark places that are deemed as either like potentially this is like a safe house, or this is like a fence. This is like a guild member's house. This is that sort of stuff. To know who's going to be safe to try to sell stuff to, where can you go to hide if you're trying to hide out from the law. This seems to be a marking that denotes this as like effectively kind of like a stowaway house. When in need, or if you're staying for an extended period, this is a off the books location that you're able to stay in. For where people aren't gonna you don't have to worry about someone coming home, or like someone coming in and trying to find it. It's basically like a this building has fallen through the cracks and no one comes by to check on it, so we've claimed this for our own. or in their case, it's probably more likely that Mr. Cole has purchased this property and is using it for that purpose.
Okay. So I'd let the others like regroup with me, but that is all that I really wanted to do here, unless they wanted to push for anything further.
I'd like to go in for the kill. No, I'm just kidding. Sugi seemed too happy about that, making me wary.
No, go for it, man.
Two
No,
of
it's
them are
fine.
passed out. What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no way there's anyone else.
Yo, they don't sleep with armor on. So, if you think about it. Because I effectively remember the last campaign that we were in, we got worked over on that, I think.
Let's go in for the kill on the people who we might be working with to learn more information.
Yeah. We have to assert dominance when when they're at their lowest point. I'm good to go whenever you are.
Alright. I think we'd start heading back towards the Swallow then.
All right. You all eventually reconvene at the Soot Swallow, having gained a little bit more information on where your potential allies are staying. Reconvening. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before taking a long rest?
I don't think so. Not here.
No.
I'm trying to think.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
In that case, you can go ahead and mark that off for anyone who's used abilities. And that next morning, Yotev, there is a as you wake up, you make your way downstairs, and there is a box, little black, almost like cardboard box that's set up and sits on the end of the bar. It is wrapped in a red silk sort of ribbon, and is sitting there on the very end of the bar. And as you wake up and make your way downstairs, the owner of the bar, Umbrick, looks over towards you and goes, that got dropped off for you this morning.
Thank you. Do you know who dropped it off?
Same courier that normally drops off mail. Nothing.
Okay.
Cool. I'd like to take a look at the box. Is there any name or anything on it?
Nope.
Tag or card or anything?
There's no to from, just a little black box.
No symbols or insignias, nothing?
Nope.
I'm going to inspect it. Just
Sure.
like
What you looking for?
see if it's like trapped or anything or like
Sure.
rigged.
Traps or poisons or pressure stuff or yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. Roll an investigation check.
Live inside the box. 19.
You look at it. There doesn't seem to be any like. There's no sign of like things being pressurized. Like the exterior isn't sturdy enough to hold back like a spring lock or anything like that. You're looking around. There's no evidence of like a powder or like a I don't know, like a fucking anthrax thing, or like there's no black powder. There's no so there's nothing along those lines. There's not any like runic drawings anywhere, so you can't see if there's any particularly powerful kinds of spells attached to it. If there is something, it's been
Right.
extremely well hidden.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to open it.
Where are you opening it?
How busy is the bar right now?
There's a couple people around. There's not a ton of folks, but I imagine Killian's probably up, considering the dude doesn't sleep, so he's probably sitting there in a booth.
Yeah. I'm gonna open it up next to Killian and just like down there, and just see if there's anything.
Sure. You're gonna open it up, and as you do, you sort of untie this red ribbon, and it falls off. You open up the box, and inside is a stone that is about a little bigger than your fist, considering your size small, so it's a little big for you. But it is a solid black, dusty lump of coal. You pick it up and hold it in your hand. It sort of stains your fingers a little bit with just the bit of residue coming off of it. Hold it up. Not entirely sure what this is for, but as you look back in, there seems to be a small note.
Cool. Just seeing that it's a piece of coal feels like it's a sign from Mr. Cole, but we'll read the note instead. Just making assumptions.
You pick it up and it says, "Burn when ready."
I'm gonna bring it upstairs with everyone.
You go upstairs. Killian follows you up. Everyone sort of piling out of, I assume, the doorway.
Fancy place.
Right, you go inside the tent. Go into the main audience room that sort of makes up the center of this place. There's a brazier in off to one side with a burning fire there. If you'd like to go ahead and chuck it in.
Yeah, that sounds like the best bet. Is everyone there, or is it?
Unless someone decided not to sleep in the tent last night.
This is just gonna summon like Asmodeus from like the first level of hell, or
it's
Alright,
Sirius
incredible.
Black in the fireplace.
yo, dude. How serious Suzuki got when I mentioned that we're summoning a Lord of Hell would be incredibly not fun.
Not
In the
inside
tent.
this tent. We
It-
could
that's
leave
what.
it.
Yeah. Let's do it inside the tent. Let's see how the tent works, really, if you think about it.
Let's stress test this magic item by summoning an archdevil.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Can we force it out? Who knows? Let's find out.
We're about to fucking see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Yotep throws the piece of coal into the fire.
Cool. Without identifying the piece of coal, you just throw it directly into the flames. As you do, the coal seems to almost just hit this brass brazier in here and lets out a loud clamor, much louder than you would expect from it. There's a brief moment where it seems like nothing happens until the black coal starts to almost get... It starts to glow with heat as you would expect, but it all of a sudden starts to turn blue, and then green, and then yellow, and then orange, and then blue, and then green, and then yellow, and then orange, a bunch of
that sounds
multicolored
good.
stuff. As it does, there's like these little sparks that start to come off it as it releases more and more energy. A level of smoke starts to roll off the ends of the brazier, and as it does, the flames of the brazier itself go from that orange to now reflecting the same coloration of the coal, and at the end of it, the flame sort of flares up and dies back down to this sort of low rumble. What used to be a fairly decent fire now is this just small rolling flame, multicolored, changing
What the fuck?
of just a rainbow coloration. And after a second, it grows again.
Oh god.
The coal almost, you watch, and it almost looks like a chunk is just taken out of it, and another chunk, and another chunk. And you hear this weird mixture of like, you know, when you take a fan and you beat a fan on a flame, you hear the flames flicker. It's somewhere between that and like a loud crunching noise. And as it does, this multicolored flame elemental now sits in this brazier. This little flame. A mouth appears across it, these eyes as well. And stares up at all of you gathered in this main area. The coloration still changes every couple of seconds. This very beautiful, very like end of Avatar Agni Kai coloration of fire and flame. I'm sorry, that's the Sun Warriors episode. Never mind. Either way, just very beautiful flames colorations of the of the little fire elemental, and it stares up at all of you and goes, sort of locks eyes with you, Yotev. You're the goblin sent after from Mr. Cole.
Apparently. And you
Ooh.
are?
I am unsure. But you sort of pauses for a moment as if there's a weird moment of like almost a half recollection, half like it's hearing it for the first time. This mixture of it's almost an implanted memory on a newly born creature, and it tells you.
Get out of there.
Meet within the Gearhold prison. We will have a conversation in we will have a conversation in in 2 hours. If you have any business to be done, make sure you have completed it by then. I would like to make this short and sweet. After all, as you have told dear Divya, lives are at stake. The flame then sort of stops this weird shuddering a bit, as it's no longer remembering this implanted memory. As it flickers down to a normal pace, it sort of sits there, staring up at you.
Huh. Okay.
Do you have to like kill it when you're done with it, or
what do we
Later,
do,
stop at
do
that.
now?
oh, it's in his head, not to the thing.
Do I know anything about fire
Roll-
being used in this way?
Fantastic question. Roll a history check with advantage.
Oh my god.
You do, in fact, need to kill it.
I'm using inspiration.
Okay.
Alright, that is
Really wants to know.
17.
17. Yes. This is incredibly rare, which is very interesting as to how Mr. Cole got his hands on something like this. It is an interesting method of communication where the elemental planes are sort of work in a three-dimensional space around the material planes. So on the east to west, you can imagine fire versus water. And on the north and south, you could say air versus earth. And as on the XY axis, the air and water mix to form the elemental plane of ice. The water and earth mix to form ooze. Earth and fire mix to form magma. And in these sort of demi-planes, they have special magics that combine both fire and earth. This is where a lot of not just magma, but things like magic linked to stuff like coal or like the burning of earth, the burning of precious materials can be utilized. There's also, of course, the positive and the negative. Fire turns to radiance, earth turns to mineral, air turns to lightning, and water to steam. And then on the negative end, fire turns to ash, earth to dust, air to vacuum, water to salt. And so it's like this full dome based not only off of the coordinates, but also for positive versus negative. So the positive of fire being radiance, the negative of fire being ash. There's a form of magic that can be tapped into based off of the understanding of both the element of earth and the elemental plane of earth, the element of fire, the element of magma, to sort of fuse certain elemental planes and elemental magics together. This seems to be one of those, which does kind of give you a hint as to the capabilities of this Mr. Cole. The ability to take elemental earth magic and elemental fire magic and fuse them in this way is incredibly impressive. And it's something that is often done or given to as like higher level denizens of the plane of fire and the plane of earth are capable of doing things like this. It is a little bit more common on the elemental plane of earth because things are a lot more likely to just randomly combust on the elemental plane of fire, especially if they are like coal like that. But there are entities that live on specific planes. On the elemental plane of fire, you have the Ifrit, you have salamanders and the like. On the elemental plane of earth, you've got your Cyclopses, your Dao, you've got the Zorn, you've got a couple of like dwarf kin that live there. Those entities often use these sort of coal-like things to effectively summon. You're able to infuse a message into the consciousness of the fire elemental that is to be burned. You burn the coal, it creates the fire elemental, and then they are able to share that message that's been imprinted onto their brain. And now that fire elemental basically just lives its life, no longer having a meaning, really. It was birthed solely for the purposes of delivering this message. And it kind of plays into how a lot of the entities on these planes kind of view life. The elemental plane of fire, things are born and die on a whim. Things get brought into this world for very little purpose and then extinguished without a thought. It has this weird sort of look into the way that magic develops on a plane where they kind of don't have a lot of sanctity for life. This thing was born, and now it served its one purpose, and now it just sort of here. And you could kill it, you could let it just chill, you can set it free to just like burningly roll out onto the streets of Hupperduke.
Aiden,
That sounds like a
can
bad
we-
idea.
Aiden, can we make friends with this? We should become friends with this. It should become part of our party.
I don't think that it has enough of itself left. But I don't think we should kill it either.
We could give it purpose.
We can.
It has a higher purpose now.
We can
Sort of.
try.
So at least Kenji can mentally. The fact that there's not a return with Aiden saying, even mentioning killing, it sort of flares up and moves backwards a bit, as if trying to like get away from you, and just goes, "Why did we introduce that sort of an idea? What is it that we're talking about?
Are you looking for a higher purpose?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Do you want to be
kind of-
friends?
I
look
don't
like you
know
could
what
use
you
friends.
mean by that.
Like somebody to look out for you and help you if you need help, and then you can help us if we need help. I'm
Sits
gonna
and rolls.
above board. I should not be
Uh-huh.
one doing this with a fucking -2 charisma.
I don't know what I would need help with, but
Exactly.
what do you need my help with? What are you going to make me do?
I will make you do nothing. Well, only what you want to do.
What if I don't want to help you?
Don't help us then. What do you want to do right now?
So sits there for a moment. I'm
Want. What is want?
Yeah.
quite literally, and Anthony was born seconds ago. I was like, so what do you want with your life? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't even fully understand what life is right now.
What is
Um,
want? Yeah. He's self-realizing
So,
right
so,
now.
like, I
Spiraling.
I would like more to eat, maybe.
I'll like snap to the things, whatever the cats are. You have cats, right? In your thing? In your palace?
What are your I don't think these.
This isn't
Lady
the
B?
same as like her.
Yeah, this is a weaker version of the thing.
What's
Oh,
the
so you don't
question?
have anything?
We don't have servants here, right?
Well, what do you want to eat?
In my tent?
Yeah.
No, you just say you want something and it magically appears.
All right, what do you want? What do you want to eat?
I,
Wood?
sure.
I'll think of wood.
Okay. You think
But-
of wood.
Does wood appear here? No,
I
not
will
like that.
think of
I
wood,
think
so-
that's how that works.
Yeah.
I pretty sure it'd be like when you cast a spell, if you want to have like a thing of firewood there, then when upon casting a spell there's firewood that exists. Alternatively, it'd be like, how do you you could like take a chair and just break off a leg
Done.
because it's gonna come back the next time.
100%. I'm just gonna smash the shit out of a chair. Just fucking wood at. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Wood everywhere. I'm just gonna heap it towards the fire elemental.
Could you
There's a moment of like trying to dodge, as if like you still mentioned killing, and now there's like these pointy pieces of wood flying at it. So it's like trying to dodge a bit, and one of them spears right through it, and it like dramatically dies, and then realizes that it's fine and starts to eat the fire.
Oh, perfect.
It's the Olaf scene I've been.
Been impaled. Exactly.
Yeah, you know what?
Blood.
Man's been alive for a hot minute, doesn't know what he wants, but can act out a full fucking scene like he's gonna die. Okay, dude.
That's instinct.
Yeah.
It's natural.
It starts to like consume the wood, and it takes a lot longer because it's not just like a singular piece of coal that gets there. It's a whole chair's worth of wood. And as it starts to sort of burn, it kind of settles into itself, seeming pretty satisfied and at peace, just like chilling.
See? I help you because you wanted something. You didn't make me do it.
What do you want?
I don't know yet. But I know that we could probably be really good friends.
I don't
There's a
know.
word again.
Friends.
I don't know a lot, but I feel like agreeing to something without knowing what I'm agreeing to, that feels back.
Well, what if I? Okay, well, what if?
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
what, all right,
wait,
what
wait,
if,
wait.
no, I have a deal. What if I'll make you a deal? I will not ask. I will pose a question to you when the time comes on whether or not you want to do it, and you don't have to do it then. But you can come hang out with us and come and see life outside of a brick of coal.
The elemental kind of like slowly rotates towards you, Yotev, because you were saying something.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're confused about what Kenji's really asking for, is he's looking to make a friend. And in doing so, friends can help each other out doing things. They also don't have to. They're more just people that spend time together, maybe laugh, eat together, and if they want to help each other out in a bind, they can.
Mutual servitude.
Yo, this
Servitude says that you have to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing. There is no obligation to have to do anything.
Holy
Friendship
mut-
is not the same as serving.
Mutual
Friendship is different.
pauses for a moment because
That's not what I expected to do today.
it was kind of mutual disobedient servitude.
No.
Hmm.
No.
It kind of looks. It cuts an eye between the two of you, Yotev and Kenji. Because is that one made of wood?
Which one? This one?
I mean, yeah,
What's the
right?
Kenji?
Is this a problem?
I mean,
You want to eat him?
I've been alive for like 2 minutes, and
I'll walk up to him and
Mhm.
I'll produce flame in my hand and I'll say,
brother,
together, friends are like coals in a fire. Together they glow, holding forward the flame, but apart they grow cold, and I'll extinguish it.
friends are consumed by a great fire together. I think I understand.
Would you like to be our friend?
Yo.
Michael's over here being like the most like,
Out-
consumed by fire.
Out-
Gotta ruin the moment.
Out of all the ways that fucking Kenji's gonna die, lit on fire by a fucking elemental, trying to make friends with it, not on my bucket list.
Not on mine either. I was waiting to build the self-destruct button.
We're in the tent currently, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You're sort of in the main area, and I've just apparated a brazier there for this to happen in.
Can I take everybody outside and then undo the tent, redo the tent, and then produce a like room similar to Aiden's for the fire and be like, look, now you can have a home with us. Just give it its own little room.
Yeah, you all leave. You drop the tent. And there is a brief moment where as you basically bring it back up where there's a new room. And as you do, you walk back inside and the fire has flattened itself in the brazier with little tendrils of flame going over the end. As if it's like grasping the edges of it, and it is screaming as if horrified, repeatedly, just like as you walk back in, it sort of notices you again, goes back up to its full height, and goes, everything vanished for like 3 seconds there. I think I died. I think everything black. Everything just went black. Everything just went black.
I thought we took him out of the.
Just went black.
I also thought
I thought we brought him with us. What the
I
fuck?
took him out?
I said we
Okay, I love this idea. How do you pick up the fire?
We ask him to come with
Take the
us.
brazier.
Yeah.
You to pick up the whole brazier? Okay, you take the brazier out. The moment the brazier leaves the tent, the brazier disappears. He falls on the floor and starts to engulf the room in flame.
Oh, okay. I see what the problem
What's the
is.
better alternative here?
This is the deal.
Which reality do I want to play in?
There
I'm
you
happy
go.
to play in both.
Yeah.
This is what's Calcifer? This is Calcifer from House Movie.
Yes, this is
Can we
Calcifer. I was
name
thinking
him
the same thing.
Calcifer?
Do we
vote
have a-
name him
Yeah.
Calcifer.
Does anyone have a cooking pot in their
This is the
inventory?
problem with our group. Is we are just
That's
I made him.
I'm trying to think of how to turn him into a brazier of commanding fire elementals now.
I would like to give him the name Calcifer.
Can I
I'd
fit?
like to ask him if he has a name, and if not, I would like to name him Calcifer.
I was asked about this name thing before, and I still don't really know what that means.
So my name
can call
is
you.
Cassandra. This is Aiden. And I'm just gonna introduce everybody. We all
Sure.
have a name
sure.
so that when we're talking to each other, we know who we're talking to, and when we're talking about somebody, we know who we're talking about. It's how people know who you are.
I'll just
Cool.
call him
So if you don't
Sparky.
have a name, we could name you.
That's Sparky.
No. His name is Casper, Dad. You can heck right off.
We already have sparkling. We can't have sparkling and sparky. It's very unimaginative.
We're naming you Calcifer.
The thing just sort of sits there like, okay, well, no one's called me anything before because until 5 minutes ago it didn't exist. So I don't think anyone has ever called me anything or has ever had reason to call me something. So,
Then we'll name you, and I'll tell him that his name is Calcifer. 1000%. That's all I can think of. Is
Okay.
Calcifer getting taken out of the hearth of House Movie Castle and freaking the fuck out.
That's what I'm thinking of.
okay, sure.
I love it.
Um,
Calcifer's like the best.
it
Does anyone have a cooking pot or cooking?
I have a dread helm I could put him
Perfect.
like a red helm.
in. Just.
Does he attune to it?
I don't think you need to attune to
Uh,
it, but as soon as he puts it on, his eyes glow red and the rest of his facial
A
features go
fire
black.
elemental just floats, right? It doesn't have to be in the brazier.
This fire elemental does not seem. It seems to be a very weak one that does not have the ability to fly or move. Really, it seems pretty stationary.
Excellent. So is he stuck in my tent then? He can't leave my tent?
Effectively,
Unless we get
you
something to
can
carry
move
out.
him. Like yeah, you could carry him out with something, but
Yotev will be right back, and Yotev's gonna run out the tent, go downstairs, and be like, "Do you have a pot or like a small pot or anything?"
are you? Because squints a bit. I'm sorry. Rephrase the question. What are you looking for?
A like a stove pot,
A skillet. We need
Okay.
a skillet.
skillet, cooking pot.
Okay. Those are different things. You're looking for just a skillet? You're looking for a bowl, a pot, or like what are you?
Bowl,
Bowl,
like
got it.
yes, as if you're
Cauldron.
making pasta.
Cool. Okay, yeah. He goes and he gets like a big like metal, probably 2 feet tall thing. Has the little crappy handles on it. Hands it over.
Perfect. And
Oh, wait, what are we using this for?
so there's a
No, it's a surprise.
The last time someone asked for something like this
How
and said
much
it was
do
a
you want for
surprise.
this? And I'll give him like a copper because I don't know how much it's worth. I'll just start with.
Okay, I'll take the copper.
Great.
thank you
Let's
for your
go.
business.
It's
Turn
just
back
our
upstairs.
final- I don't know how much a pot's worth.
Copper
We'll
sounds
pay
fine.
more if we need to.
Yeah.
How
You
much?
yeah, you go upstairs with it.
Yeah, and make an attempt to move him in there. If I can't like physically touch him because he's fire,
Aiden.
He can
or like because
Yeah,
he's coal on
effectively-
fire, right?
no. The coal has been consumed. He is just a small
Oh,
fire. He can. It's sort of like a choo-choo jelly. He can roll,
Oh,
but
okay.
he can't float. He can't fly. He's very slow.
Okay.
So he just sort of rolls up the side.
While wearing hot mitts, something to protect my hands. He's going to say, "Here, roll into this."
Rolls up the side and then just like plops into it.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I instantly regret this. I thought he would be a more powerful ally.
He's a friend.
He
He's
will
not an
later.
ally.
He's a baby. We gotta.
You got a
take
new
him in.
friend.
We could end up with a fire dragon.
The
Well, he won't
fuck,
be a
we,
dragon.
dude. Based on what the description that we have
I'm just
of
kidding.
this thing, it's like
Goomy
in-
evolves into a dragon. Okay, so I want to hear it.
and Caterpie evolves into a still useless Pokemon, and that's what we currently have.
I don't know. Hurricane is
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
like Calcifer, and you can shut the fuck up, Brian. We have a friend.
He's gonna help us make breakfast every day.
Oh my god.
Slide eggs into his mouth while we.
Like a Domino's pizza oven, just like shoots out the other side cooked.
Yeah. Well, no. Like we feed him eggs while he cooks us eggs.
Yeah, we get the eggs back, I assume, because he doesn't eat eggs.
We don't know that.
He eats wood. It's a fire elemental.
Yeah. We don't
You
know
saw
what
him-
else he eats.
Oh my god.
He has a stomach, apparently. Anyway,
I also do
I
not
don't
know what I eat. I don't know if that's helpful.
We will figure it out together.
You wanna be our
Mr.
friend?
Cole has
You wanna
given
live
us
with
a
us?
meeting in 2 hours, and we have decided to raise the thing that he has sent as the messenger.
We at least have it. How hot does this pot actually get?
It gets hot. I mean, it is a full flame. It's just not it. I mean, it is enough to burn you if you touched it, but it's not enough to like if you've got mitts on. It's not gonna like catch the mitts on fire or burn through the mitts.
Cool. Excellent.
We made a friend.
Today
Gonna
has
need
been
to get some
accomplished.
blueprints to Dodie. Figure out how to make this like a little mechanical moving thing, so he has a little thing to walk around in.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah. Just make it a Oh God, what is that? I don't have. I'll have to come up with a.
He's
Like,
like a
all
little
I-
pilot.
All I can think of is the dog with no legs, and they made him the wheeling thing so that he could go around on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of sitting in the pot now. It's like, so what are we doing? What am I doing?
Well, now that we know that you've let us know that we have a meeting, we can take you around with this, and you can see things. We could also, make sure that this place you don't disappear for like, and everything goes black for a few moments. That would be very scary.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Holy fuck.
Hey, watch your language. Still a child after all.
Michael, are
Mhm.
you immune to fire damage?
No, I'm just resistant. That would be broken. Just like racial immunity to a damage type.
I don't like when you talk to me like I'm stupid.
I'm not. I'm just like. That'd be really strong. Fire's the most common damage type in the game.
Is there
So-
anything else we need to do before our meeting with Mr. Cole?
Raise this. No, not like raise him up, but
Oh.
yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra, where have you been disappearing off to every so often?
It's not your business.
Yes, it is.
What's that?
Wild.
If you're in danger, you disappear.
Don't you want us to be able to find you?
I'll be fine.
Oh boy.
Why are you so secretive? You get into everyone else's business, but you don't want to tell any of yours?
Nope.
Bullshit, you're telling us.
Nope.
Watch your language.
Very good.
Good call.
No more secrety things. You let us know where you're going. Because something happened.
Maybe it's a surprise for some of you. Maybe you can shish kebab.
Maybe you could die and us not know. You have
wouldn't
people looking
care.
out for you as well.
Nah.
I'm sorry. Am I wrong there? Aiden, Kenji, Varnex, Killian, who's not here, but is here.
Yeah, what does Killian have to say?
And
That's not
I'm upset that I was not asked. If we're not
Calcifer.
supposed to keep secrets, I don't want to keep the secret that hurt my feelings. That I was not asked about my
I'm
thoughts.
sorry.
This is
I'm
good.
sorry, Calcifer.
This is
What do you
perfect.
think about the situation?
I don't know. I don't have any context for the situation, so I've got no idea. I just
Ah, okay.
I want him to feel included.
Above the board,
Like it's
if I
bad.
were to close this pot with a lid, could I just smother this thing and just put it out of its misery?
You can certainly
No.
try.
No. If he even tries it, I'm gonna smack him upside his head. I'm not telling you.
Are you a ranged caster? Is
Me?
Cassandra a ranged caster?
She does both.
Smacking Kenji might be the very last thing that you ever do.
I have Warcaster, so.
I don't think that that's gonna help you in this situation.
Now, what am I thinking of? What does the double? That's the next speed I'm taking.
Do we have anything to go? Are we doing anything?
I don't think so.
No.
Let's take our fire friend out for a day on the town for a whole 2 hours before we have to go to Mr. Cole. And then show him his child that he's left with us, and then maybe return him to him.
No. We're gonna keep Calcifer. Calcifer's our friend now. I'm not gonna return him. Unless he wants to go, but like that feels like a boring life.
Maybe he wants to meet his dad.
I have a dad.
Yeah, you want to meet him?
I don't know. Our dad's how? Our dad's good. How are your dads? Do you have dads?
I don't have dads. I have moms. I have
Okay.
aunts.
What about the rest of you? Do any of you have dads?
I don't have parents. I don't know my parents.
Yo, they've had.
He is a dad. He sucks though.
You're a dad?
You could go shut up. Like, you know what? Go away. Go leave. Leave.
Yeah, go
You
on
want-
one of your secret
You
missions.
don't want to
again.
here no more. You know what? Out of the party. I'll take the tent though.
You
I'll
try
take
such
the
a thing.
tent. Just a full fucking tent.
Yo, Tev, what is your relationship like with your dad?
Oh,
It wasn't bad, from what Yotep could remember. It was hard. We didn't make a lot of money. Yotep remembers him wanting Yotep to be more like soldierly and be more involved with the military and taking up arms, but that's not what Yotep wanted.
It's interesting that that's what your dad wanted and that's what your kid's doing.
It's okay. That is the life that he chose to take.
So dads are supposed to be disappointed in their children.
No.
holy fuck.
Oh,
It's kind of the other way. I think that his kids are disappointed at him based on what we've seen so far. His son
Look.
doesn't talk to him at all, and his daughter like
Sandor, if you're
Oh,
gonna
makes
keep
sense.
talking like this, you need to actually pay up with some information that you are hiding, and the little secrets that you've got.
You want to know what I did? You really want to know? You don't want me to tell you later?
Absolutely.
I went to go see how much your house would be worth, so I could buy it back for you.
Really?
Yes.
And what did you find out?
Insight check.
I'm not lying. That's what I went to go do. that is what I went to go see how much it would be worth. They wouldn't talk to me because their house had got into recently, and they were trying to figure that out. You know.
And
no
more
big deal.
important shit to do, you know?
Oh, was that the one that we broke into the fucking house?
But that's what I went to go do. Went to go see how much your house would be to buy back. for
Cool.
you.
Thank you. Yotev appreciates that.
Did you?
But I
did,
wanted it to be a surprise, but you won't shut the fuck up about it. So
did you tell them that it's worth less now
Hey,
that it's been broken into? They're in a high crime area.
She wouldn't know that. She wouldn't know that.
Oh yeah.
There's
She fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
Little do you know.
What if I told you that
Alright.
you could consume an entire house full of wood?
We're not gonna burn his house down.
The property
Well-
value would plummet, and we'd be able to afford it.
But
I-
then we'd have to pay to rebuild it, and we don't have that kind of money.
He's
and
a
the
clever
whole point of having it is for sentimental value, and all of that would be on
He's-
his claims.
he's a
We're not
clever
burning houses
person.
down.
He could.
Burning houses down is bad. Arson is bad. Arson is illegal.
That's all this fire elemental does
Do
is
a lot of
consume
stuff
things
that's
with fire.
illegal.
Don't make him feel bad. That's all he does is he burns things.
Genji, when did you learn so much about economics and how property markets work?
I found a couple books lying on the floor, and I wanted to read some before bed. I didn't know what it was, and I
You
was
fed
so
them to your
confused.
hat.
Yeah, they're not around anymore. I got fed to my hat, but I just couldn't stop. I read a few of them, and it just didn't make any sense. So I just kept going.
Joseph thinks you'd really like a book about urban planning, you know? That'd be...
If you have any around, it actually probably would tie in nicely to what I currently have going on up here.
No, that's what I went to go do.
I forgot I had that.
Thank you. That is very kind.
And it is actually what I went to go do, you know, Caleb.
I would be able to answer you, but I'm not quite sure what a house is either, so I'm still trying to figure some stuff out
So
with that
this is a
question.
tent that we're in.
Okay.
This
Not
is
like
super
what all tents
magical
look
tent
like.
though.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so everybody has their own little rooms that they go and sleep in if they need to sleep. And like over there we eat because you need sustenance to survive. So like how you need wood to be able to still be a fire, right? We need food to eat, to have energy and like go about our daily lives. So this is our like movable house. Normal people's houses that aren't adventurers, their houses are in this city and they just stay here and they're just a place.
It's just a pile of wood.
City. That's the thing that you're going to show me around, but I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Is this place, does it?
No.
No.
Can be
Okay.
if I-
A house
Um,
is a pile of wood. A city
It-
is a collection of piles of wood.
And stone.
I like the. What kind of stone?
Sometimes
Granite.
I'll start naming off a bunch of
cobblestone.
different types of stone that are used because there's vast
I-
varieties.
How about we show
It's-
you instead of just tell you? Because you'll learn a lot more by seeing than by hearing.
I like that idea. I think.
Cool. Let's go.
Hey, can I ask before we go? Can I ask
Hmm.
the Spark how he feels about our new friend?
It just sort of bums a bit to life and responds in that it's rare for a fire elemental to have the capacity to speak like this, but it seems
Catalyst to a world-ending event. I already know it.
Yeah.
fine.
Do you think that it could be anything more than it currently is? Could it get stronger? Change
You-
anything else?
I suppose that all things capable of learning have the capacity to become something greater than they were before.
Sounds a bit like you.
when the spark says that it's unusual that it could talk like this, I'm gonna turn to it and say something in Ignan and see if it responds.
Looks over in your direction, and it. What do you say?
I don't know.
Fuck, we didn't plan for this. Yeah.
Bro, that sounds mad racist.
Yo, what?
The fuck you say to me?
Yeah.
So
Oh
just say
boy,
something
not like this.
like, do you understand this tongue as well?
Is comprehend languages still up because it lasts an hour?
That was last night.
Oh yeah, you're right. We did go to sleep.
It looks over in your direction and goes, you have a second tongue? In Ignan.
It appears you do as well.
I did not know I had a tongue.
Oh boy.
This is...
We got two of them.
No,
Now
no,
there's
no, no,
two
no,
of
no,
them.
no, no.
That's what friends are for. We
Oh,
help
sweet
each other
Jesus.
learn about ourselves.
Friends.
Mm.
There's that word
You're still
again.
talking to the spark, right?
There's that
Yeah,
word
I'll
again.
talk to you.
Oh, you said that
Calcifer.
to Calcifer.
Yeah. This world is full of wonders.
I'll be like, what are you saying, Aiden?
I just wanted to know
If the fire spoke fire.
Yeah,
I wanted
the
to know
fire
if it's,
spoke
uh,
fire.
Oh,
if
did you
natural
watch
instincts were
Elemental?
overridden.
Crackle, crackle, sizzle.
I'm gonna say something in Sylvan just to see if it understands too. Just for fun.
What do you say?
What about me? Can you understand me?
She's making that one up, isn't she?
She's
So
making
that's a
that.
no.
Did he
He's-
say that in common or in Ignan?
Ignan. Like over towards Aiden conspiratorially. Like, she's fucking with me, isn't she? That one's fake.
No, you don't. Do you know Sylvan?
I do not.
You know, it
I
actually.
don't think it's fake, but I have no idea what she said.
Hmm. It was probably something mean. I can't imagine why you would say something that no one else understands unless it's something mean that you don't want them to hear.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you just don't know if they'll understand. I don't think anyone else knows what we're talking about right now.
Turns over and sort of looks at everyone else, kind of just sort of standing there waiting for the conversation. And like, oh, have I been rude this whole time? Is this rude?
You should say.
Yo, they're probably. Yo,
They don't
they're probably saying something mean about us. Nobody would say something in another language that nobody else could understand unless they're saying
Switch back to
something
comment.
mean.
Switch back to comment. No. I was not doing that. That is not kind.
I
So would you
just
like
asked
to
if
see
you could
outside of
understand me
this
as well, and I said it in
Calcifer?
Sylvan, which is my native language. The language of the Fae.
A lot of people spoke all at once. I am very overwhelmed.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Let's go on an adventure.
Would you like to see the rest? Would you like to see outside of this tent, Calcifer?
I feel as though I am inclined to say yes.
You don't have to.
The fuck?
I mean, if you don't, we leave you here at the tent.
Indeed. And then it gets really dark.
Wait. I
But
didn't
you
like the
didn't.
dark.
Yeah. I don't want to leave you in the tent.
It
I
might
don't-
be a while till we come back in it.
I want to do whatever I have to do to not go back to the dark place.
Then we're
No.
going and leaving the tent.
I
The
don't
dark
think that we
place.
should leave a living thing in the tent for very long.
I
I
didn't
suppose.
mean to be clear. I said I wanted to take him out of the tent to be crystal clear. I did not want to do that. Just to be clear. Although he didn't die, so
He didn't
that's a good experiment for us.
No, but now he's traumatized.
Trauma,
What if-
trauma, start out early.
If there's anything that a living flame would be afraid of, it is the absence
Pure
of light.
darkness.
Because how the fuck would that work? Because it's always shedding light. Water, obviously. and extreme colds. So I would, you know.
He's afraid of dirt.
Are you afraid of water?
I mean, I don't
What happens if it rains?
love water.
Do you melt if it rains?
No, I mean we.
It's the episode of
Water doesn't
Invader
really
Zim.
affect me. We fought the trolls in a river.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
I just. It's not my preference.
As y'all leave, you guys start walking out of the tavern. Calcifer has his hands over the edge and is like up out of the little pot.
Adorable.
And as the bartender like watches you carry the thing out, seeing a fire inside of it, kind of tilts the head, and Calcifer just goes, "That's it." As you all leave the tavern and enter the city, as you make your way through the city, you end up showing the newly born Calcifer a number of different things. You describe what streets are, what people are, the difference between he asks. Yeah, he asks questions about why is that one short and angry and covered in hair while that one isn't, and then you have to also teach him shit like, not verbally asking questions about why someone looks a certain way in front of them. There's now a very pissed off dwarf walking down the streets of Humperdinck. There's a long learning curve as this like quick little series of learning opportunities come and go. But with at the end of those 2 hours, you end up at the Gearhole prison. I'm sorry. I am super wrong. He would not. It was the Armavault, is what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it wasn't the prison.
No.
It's not the place where the compass has been pointing out.
Yeah.
That is my bad. As you make your way towards the Armavault, it is very close by. As you make your way in that general direction, Calcifer is as sort of still asking questions about, oh, and what is this and what is that? And as you get up to the front, you see that there is a flanking both of the sides of the entrance towards the Armavault is the two people from before, the dwarven and gnomish folks that you guys that Killian drank under the table. They sort of nod as you approach and gesture for you to follow as the gnome begins to make his way in, and the dwarf kind of waits to follow behind you all.
Okay. We got your message.
As we can see, congratulations. Glad you found your way. As you make your way inside, you are led down a series of winding halls. These are passages that used to make up one of the many mines here within the city, but once the veins went dry, it was turned into a odd sort of bank. Part of the way that this place is kept secure is there's a series of checkpoints that you have to go through. At these checkpoints, they check. They have guards that are all stationed here that go and check to make sure that you're on a specific list. They scan you for illusions and the like, and then you are allowed to pass through. Series by series, you go deeper and deeper, twisting turns, sections where there's magical darkness veiling certain pathways. All these strange-looking metal automatons stand in these sort of imposing statures blocking or guarding certain paths in or out. As you travel through, you go deeper, dropping below a large sort of arched bridge that crosses. It's a massive cavern, a bridge that crosses with guards standing on top of it with these large, slender, metallic tube-like weapons, some sort of rifle, as they're just sort of holding them down, holding them, watching you as you go. Eventually, you are led into a small section where there's a metal railing and a platform that you step onto, and with a jolt, it slowly lowers as you ride an elevator deeper and deeper and deeper. Once you get to the bottom, as you begin to descend, there is a large cavern, about 120 feet across. The air is incredibly damp at this point. You can smell just like that old cave wetness. Walking in, there's like these torches all along the walls in these sconces that help to light the area. And as you make your way off of this platform, that platform shudders and begins to rise back up. Standing in the middle of this area are a couple of guards, as well as the familiar faces of Divya and Bordak. They stand there sort of waiting for you, and both of them flanking a tall, probably 6'3" tall, dark, black, stony-faced man with a series of these almost jagged protrusions along the head that mimic a sort of hairline that shoot out in these quill-like spines. Large hands that seem rough, as if the calluses on the fingers have turned to solid stone. Wearing an all-black suit with a crisp, clean white tie down the front is Mr. Cole. And that is where we will end for this week. And we'll pick up with a meeting with Mr. Cole in a week.
Mr. Cole.